me out now. Return of the smooth operator. Shotty on repeat. I say sleep later. This another favor. Consider me your neighbor. Lost a lot of fam in pursuit of the paper. She gon' catch the vapors when we slide by. The way I speak my mind, it's like I peak my prime, but I ain't close. I cruise through the night air. Fantasy a dream. Real world is a nightmare. Like Claire battling the brainless. Learn to live shameless. Talk about me alive, but claim that I'm nameless. You aimless. So I'ma style on them. They washed up. It's a rap. Throw the towel on them. Gaining miles on them. Otakus for the win. Tacos, it depend on the mood that I'm in. Like Finn when it's time for adventure. This some new blue. Get ready to enter my mind for a few. Come and take a ride with the crew. I'ma show you how to recoup days lost when you vibe with the blue. Come vibe with the blue. Yeah. About time to regroup. Fly, got my eyes on the view. Never hear lies, only truth. Realize why they vibe with the blue. 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 Vibe with the vibe with the sky. Wait, you know the rest. I'm blessed. I see you frontin' like you ain't impressed, but I still get requests. I'm playing Zelda on the GameCube. I quit spamming my music. Don't ever try forcing the links. That's a high rule. The wind waker, Mother Nature on my side too, controlling the elements. Go and check my avatar. I'm arrows ahead. Get the point. Moving forward, the battle scars accumulated over time are reminders of what I went through as a minor, but made me a grinder. The trees broke down for this loose leaf. If life's a game of death, I'm Bruce Lee. Ooh wee. Lose sleep on the regular, trying to get this word out. Then I crash Nebula. Wish I had a very odd parent, maybe two, but it's cool. Everybody pays dues. Now it's time to make moves. Granny didn't raise me to lose. Think I'm in the mood for a cruise. Wanna ride? Come and vibe with the blue. Come 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 vibe with the. Check this out, y'all. I'm back spazzing like the elderly worth of my cousin Beverly. Never swear away from the truth. Just ask Heather, be weather, be tripping, starting to control like our destiny. Always give you the best of me until the death of me. My weaponry is a paintbrush. Hush, don't tell my secret. They get a hold of it. If you leak it, get it. It's cool. Got you covered though, look. But let me get back to that cool-ish, loose-ish. Why they still lying? They don't do this. Bad at board games, whole world clueless. Selling they soul for roof Chris. Who's this honored fella? Need a sliced extra mozzarella. Crew fly, let God propellers. Humanity born like they don't trust fun. Why you dodge to tell her? You don't know, but my odds are better. Life's a gamble, depending on who holding the cards. You can start living at large or it's bon voyage. Charge it to the game. Me and you ain't the same. I'm thinking bigger pictures. Why you still shrinking the frame? Ever blink in the rain? It helps when your eyes dry. Mob with the bright minds. Think you funny, wise guy? Midnight marauder with a new tribe. Tired of the fake. Come and vibe with the blue sky. Come vibe with the blue sky. Why do you try? We get them high. Take them high. What I do? Come vibe with the blue. Yeah. Come vibe with the blue. Ask what up? Vibe with the. Wise grass only greener when it's fertilized. Gave them truth in these songs, they prefer to lies. Destiny beautiful, adrift in her purple lies. You can't see me, you Stevie, wondering how I reach more evolutions than Evie and make it look easy. Dream on, yeah. Dream on, dream weaver. Dream weaver.
What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It's your boy Ernie, Blerd Without Fear. Got the homie Carter Presents in the building.
For you messing up the intro like that, you got to be a scroll.
I might be. Sorry, I had to help my daughter get some stuff together.
And then them blamed it on the cheering.
Well, she was actually being quite like, she likes to play these little games. When I'm asking her like what she wants, she likes to like play guessing games and shit. I'm like, look, I ain't got time for that right now. I was like, if it was any other time, I would play along, but I was like, I can't play charades with you about what you want. But anyway, welcome to episode 211 of the Blerd Cave, #1 comic book news stream on this or any other Earth in the multiverse, which, by the way, you can also get on Spotify. Get it on Amazon. Was it music? Is Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Google, whatever the hell the Google thing is, and all other podcasting platforms where good podcasts may be found. If you do, also make sure you leave us a rating, because that really helps us out. Helps us find more listeners like yourself. If you are one of those who are listening after the fact, you're not watching the live stream or watching the VOD on YouTube, you should go do that. Help us out. Speaking of scrolls, Carter, that secret invasion. That secret invasion. It has happened. It is a thing. It is finally out into the world. And not only has it shooketh people, but it has also done a lot of other things too. It has also angered some people. It has got folks upset, feeling a little tight. Folks and caught some feelings. We'll talk about all that here in a little bit.
Yes.
We've also got some other news we'll be talking about here as well. But first and foremost, before we get into our thing, we all have our thing. Before we get into it, Carter, how you been, man?
Man, been good. We had a little adventure into Hollywood yesterday. When we drove on Sunset Boulevard and I saw some celebs and ate some tilapia. And there are some things that transpired, but I think that is another presentation for another Carter stream. So enough about me, brother. How you been, though?
I live. That's what's been up with me. Nothing really. Actually, trying to get my health. We talked about this kind of a little bit beforehand, but just trying to get my health back in order. Ahead of what it is currently, which is not terrible, but just like I just really recognize how out of shape I am. And also shout out to the Elite X1 in the Discord as well as in the chat.
What did he do?
Because thanks to our good brother, I was able to cop one of these.
Oh, you went ahead and got one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got. Oh no! As soon as I saw it.
When you sent me the message, I just sat here like, do I really need it though? Because all I do is delete stuff and reinstall it. Do I really need? So I end up not getting it. But you know what? I'm happy I didn't. Oh, because yeah. your boy got bills.
Hey, I mean that is fair.
Happy I didn't. So I would much rather my bills be paid.
That's fair.
Then try to see if I can get it at a later date.
That's fair.
So we're not doing hashtag Carter needs a plate, hashtag Carter needs a chair, hashtag Carter out here homeless. So
I mean, no, we don't want that. We don't want that. We do not want that. But that said,
yes.
That said, yeah, I got that. I haven't installed it yet, obviously. because it is still in the box. It's still literally in here. But I probably, after this is all said and done, I'll probably do it tonight. But I'm probably move all my shit over to it, like Diablo, whatnot.
You know what though? I might actually look into upgrading my whole little ensemble. So I might do that. I might do that.
Okay, I see you out here. Hashtag gift card or something. Y'all ain't shit.
At some point, y'all gotta just let Carter wherever Carter falls, he falls.
Just be like, there you go, man. Look, he's somewhere around this motherfucker. I don't know. But yeah, let's go and get into before we get into our stuff, or before we do, we actually have some things I want to address first. Got some super chats here. Got one from GoCon, sure his baby's father with $2, says, looking at Scott Face, he about to drop a fire album. This is in reference most likely to the news we'll get to here in a little bit.
Yes.
News regarding the wedding announcement of Emma Frost and Playboy, billionaire philanthropist himself, Tony Stark. He's no longer a billionaire though, so we gotta remember that. He's no longer a billionaire. He's a thousandaire.
That motherfucker is me. He is me with a Caucasian complexion.
Right.
He is me.
Also, I didn't talk about this in my video for Ultimate Invasion, but there's actually a part where Reed Richards calls out what Stark had been doing, like buying up all those devices and weapons and stuff. He said the bridge was just sitting in a warehouse somewhere because, and I was just like,
I swear, that's what made me think, like, bruh, for an Illuminati that's supposed to be together and have their hands in absolutely everything, this will be the only time I think this episode of Cave that this word is going to be used. But you niggas suck.
Yeah.
The Illuminati sucks, bruh. You suck.
Well, that's why my video, like, I knew I probably was gonna catch something from somebody for it, but that's why it sounds like, dude, the Illuminati has always been like some hot trash to me, just because I'm like, dude, y'all stay getting, I'm like, how y'all got all this going on? Y'all get dunked on like every time, just about.
It wasn't even that big of a reveal. You just more like, oh, y'all together again? Yeah. It wasn't even a big monumental thing, and it's Hickman writing it, and it was still just like, oh,
he's like, oh yeah, he's like, what? It's like the Illuminati is like that one thing that I'm just like, yeah, Hickman, you could have left that. You could have left that one in the dustbin. We also got we got a $5 one here from GoCon, sure his baby's father, says, you know why Scott also mad? Not only a human marrying his side piece, but they also an Avenger. Hey man, you know the Avengers, they wait.
That boy been mad ever since he went up to Emma and was like, hey, you know Gina not taking a break, right? And she was just like, oh, word? And then just walked the fuck off. That shit was so funny in that issue. That was the biggest anybody thinking about you I have ever seen in this run of the X-Men. Oh, y'all, but okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, and then she was like, oh, cool.
That boy, I bet Scott Summers, you've been catching L's quite a lot recently. Boy, you done caught an L from Emma with your swim trunks on. You done got sprung on and let the Captain Krakoa suit get took. You didn't took so many L's. Your ass done regressed.
Oh,
and
dude,
went back to the OG X-Men suit. What happened to the blue?
Dude, no, you know what happened? I'm gonna tell you what happened. Emma still remember this.
Oh man,
Emma still remember this.
She looks sick.
Cause see, a lot of y'all don't remember this, because I know a lot of y'all wasn't reading that Matthew Rosenberg Uncanny X-Men.
Hey, let me tell you something. If you can squeeze that.
Oh yeah,
into a box. If you can squeeze that into a box, that's podcast. That's Spotify picture right now.
Look, right.
Emma looks sick, bruh.
She like, ain't this about a bitch?
I know goddamn well that if that was a person, it was Emma Frost right there.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%.
Audio files, you can't see what we saying, but yeah, this got to be the podcast. This is disrespectful. This is disrespectful.
Yeah.
Y'all are gonna see it if I got to post this motherfucker on Twitter or something. But this is just disrespectful.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. So for those that don't remember this, like I said, we'll probably get into it a little bit more. I'm gonna keep this image up when we come back to it. But yeah, Emma got a reason to be salty. Y'all, I don't want anybody to forget that. Yeah, Emma got receipts. Emma got receipts on Scott. So yeah.
That boy, Scott Summers was a Drake. He was several Drake albums.
Oh yeah,
he was so far gone when Gene died.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to have his comeback season with M. Frost. Then the Krakoa era happened, and he was a certified lover boy. And now he just got to take care of himself because he out these streets by his lonesome.
Lord.
Scott Summers has been several Drake albums. That's what the past few years that has for Marvel and Scott Summers. He's just been 100%. Drake albums. That is
100%. 100%. We also got LJ Brown with the 5 pounds. Was I the only one who thought when they saw Beanie Nick Fury with no eye patch, instantly at Carter with his beanie in LA, hashtag is Carter a squirrel. He said he took that motherfucker off so quick. Now I never seen Carter take the hat off so quick. He said, man, take this shit off. He's like, get this shit out of here. Let's go ahead and get into let's go and get our main thing. So yeah, is y'all probably saw in the lower third already. We had the Secret Invasion. We had the Secret Invasion premiere just this past week. Which, I was pretty excited for. It was a show that I felt like it wasn't going to be what a lot of people thought it was. And I mean, I think when the trailers came out, it became even more obvious it was not going to be what a lot of people were hoping it was going to be.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people came into it expecting certain things. I think a lot of people came into it expecting what I Carter, do you think it'd be an unfair assessment to say that when we thought about Secret Invasion, I think a lot of people probably thought they were going to see this. They were going to see the Bendis Secret Invasion. They were just going to see they were going to see Chris Hemsworth putting the smackdown on a squirrel with the powers of like 2 X-Men and like 6 members of the Fantastic Four. Yes, I said 6 because it's about 8 or 9 of the motherfuckers, even though they only call themselves Fantastic Four. They usually got a gang of motherfuckers hanging around them. But Fantastic 18 don't flow off the tongue quite as well.
That's why I was laughing at the fact that they just started calling themselves the Future Foundation, because I wasn't into comics back then like that. I would just see like the Future Foundation at a book. So I'm like, damn, they knew they had way more than 4 these past few years and just said we just a foundation now. That's where my mind went.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people that thought that Secret Invasion is how we were gonna get Norman Osborn. Everybody was saying this. They just gonna wait till the last episode when Norman Osborn saves everybody from the Skrulls. I saw that on Twitter.
Well, I mean, let's also be fair. A lot of folks thought going into this that Emilia Clarke, y'all know Emilia Clarke from Game of Thrones. She's a big star when it comes to like TV series and things of that nature. And yeah, I think I remember a lot of people got disappointed when they realized, she ain't Spider-Woman.
so strange seeing her in regular people clothes.
Right?
I know that might be weird to say, but just if you've seen her in Game of Thrones and stuff like that, it's so weird seeing her in normal people clothes.
Yeah, a lot. It's kind of crazy because a lot of the time when I think about like Emilia Clarke, I think about Daenerys Targaryen. I don't really think about any of her other roles really, but I mean that's the most popular that she had.
Yeah, and I don't watch TV, so I don't see like any interview she has done or red carpet, anything like that. I'm just whatever show she on, that's how I see her.
Yeah.
So just seeing her and just the regular like I'm finna go check the mail drip is just kind of
right. Funny. Like I'm going to I'm going to Whole Foods real quick. You want anything?
Wait, people thought that Emilia Clarke was going to be Abigail Brand.
They did. There were two picks. People thought she was either going to be Abigail Brand or they thought she was going to be Spider-Woman. And then some dumbass. Because you remember how yesterday we were talking about when folks were trying to get folks to believe Jeremy Renner had passed on Twitter. Yeah, people do this shit all the time where they're like they trying to it's some we got this covered shit. It's some we got this covered shit where like motherfuckers they just throw up something inflammatory or just something crazy because it's gonna get clicks. People gonna click on it. No matter what, they're gonna click on it unless they know better. And a lot of people thought like, oh yeah, no, she got to be playing Abigail Brand. That's the only character she could play. And it's one of those deals. It's kind of like when we were talking about before, when Quantum Mania was coming out. And was it William Jackson Harper from the good Chidi from The Good Place, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, no, they didn't cast Chidi in The Good Place." Oh, you know who he playing? You know who he playing, Carter. You automatically know off rip. You already know. You ain't even look, Carter. You don't even got to think about it, man. You don't even got to think about it. You don't even have
no.
think about it.
I had to think about it because I'm like, what the hell gave y'all people that idea that he was supposed to be Reed Richards? How did y'all just get that inception in y'all mind that he was supposed to be Reed Richards?
Look, motherfuckers like, man, look at him, man. Look, that's Reed right there, man. That's our Reed, man. And I remember so many people going off about that, and I was just like, okay.
Real quick.
Go ahead, shoot.
Please. And audio files, I do apologize. Go back to that picture real quick, Chidi, please.
Yeah, I got you.
That forehead lets me know people may have been correct in saying that he was Reed Richards because that big ass, that's the maker right there. That's the maker. He stretched his brain out to be longer, but that helmet of his, y'all saw in Ultimate Invasion. That's the maker right there.
Look, I thought you was gonna say that's the leader right there.
See, look, Mojo Quid, you knew exactly where my mind was going. That is the maker head right there.
This man, look, y'all ain't shit. Oh, look, I was like, he could be the leader. But I mean, we already got Tim Blake Nelson back, so I mean, maybe be alternate universe leader. But no, a lot of people got real. And in some cases, like, would get angry if you told them otherwise. Like, I remember, like, people getting mad when I pointed out that Emilia Clarke wasn't playing Abigail Brand. They're like, but that's a spoiler. It's like, not really. I mean, it's better for you to know than go into this shit thinking that she's going to be one thing and then she's not. And then you try and flame the show for being trash because your headcanon wasn't fulfilled.
Ooh, say it again.
Yeah, I mean, that's a... Yeah, because I've seen a lot of people say that shit. Like I've not talking about just Secret Invasion, but just like I've seen a lot of people get mad when headcanon isn't fulfilled, and then they judge the thing on that and not on the merits of what it actually is. But yeah, this show, which I'm gonna go ahead and say right now, it's kind of hard to talk about the show without spoiling it. So I'm just gonna be. Yeah.
Fuck that. It's been out. Speak your mind, son.
Look, I'm gonna give everybody a fair warning, and we'll I'll tell you what. I'll just say in generalities, as far as the show goes, as far as like performances and things like that go, and like, you know, what's exactly going on here, what exactly you're getting, I will say that yes, this is for all intents and purposes. This is for all intents and purposes Nick Fury show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very, very, very much, you know, a love letter to, you know, all the people that wanted Nick Fury to kind of have his own thing happening that wasn't like him just showing up in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for like 2 seconds. And it's also, I think, a love letter to people who are fans of some of the other characters in the MCU that we don't focus on a lot, like Ever K. Ross. We also got Colby Smulders, there's Maria Hill. We also have what was it? Ben Mendelsohn, in it, who, Ben Mendelsohn is just, fantastic, in this, I mean, he was already fantastic. He already kind of proved he was pretty good at playing, Talos to begin with, but there's a lot. There's definitely a lot that's going on in this. And I like while some people may want the Bendis-ness of it, they want to see the big bombast, they want to see, superheroes. Like, what was it, like to soft quote WWE's Big E, they want to see big meaty men slapping meat, and they want some of them big meaty men to be green. Okay, they want some of those other big meaty men to possibly be green. But yes, and while I respect that, I respect that a lot.
I don't. I don't respect that, because that as a TV, I think you would have been damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because if you all had got the Bendis stuff that you wanted, you all would have complained that you got the Bendis stuff that you wanted as a TV show and not a film.
Yeah, not as a movie. Yeah.
So you were just in a rough place anyway if you were a Marvel fan that didn't have some fucking sense. Yeah. I think for anyone that one of your favorite Marvel films was The Winter Soldier, because several people have, Gearless Mo is back.
God damn.
That cut off my train of thought. For all of you people, God damn it, Jonathan Moda, damn it. For all the people, let me get back where I was, that really enjoyed the Marvel film Winter Soldier, because a lot of people, several fucking people, said that if you take the Marvel out of it, it was a really great Bourne spy kind of film. I think if you're in that group after this first episode, I think it's going to be more of that.
Yeah.
And if that was something that you really enjoyed, like I did myself, then I think you're going to be all over this show. But I will say, after this first episode, I have no complaints. I feel like it's going to be more of that Winter Soldier. If you take the superhero shit out of it, it's just a fun spy kind of deal.
Yeah. It
was good.
Well, and this is something I was so happy about, because I drew this conclusion when you remember the little it's like a 5-issue mini Secret Invasion.
Did not read it, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Because didn't they continue it? I think they continued it.
It's well, they might have. I don't know. I haven't been keeping up, but they dropped 5 issues, and it was basically what they did was it told a more personal story, something that's actually very on brand with what we got here in this Disney Plus series. And when this came out, when this Ryan North Secret Invasion mini came out, I was like, bruh, this is the blueprint. I was like, I guarantee this is the blueprint for what they're doing with the Secret Invasion TV show. And while this does have some of the superhero bombast in it, it's not the main focus of the story. It's still a more personal, down to earth setup where you're focused, you're actually focused mostly on Nick Fury, more so on Maria Hill, Like Iron Man's probably like the biggest superhero you spend any time with other than those two characters, for the most part. And it's great. It's great because since it's personal, they can tell a more compelling story of intrigue and like almost like kind of like it's almost, you know, instead of calling a who done it, more of a who is it, like who is the scroll, like there are even some scenes in this comic that are straight out of John Carpenter's The Thing. Like, I don't know, a lot of y'all might remember the famous blood test scene from John Carpenter's Thing. They have a scene very similar to it in that Ryan North Secret Invasion comic, and I loved it. I freaking loved it. But yeah, just basically what you said. This is if you took the essence of the Winter Soldier movie, but distilled it down into a TV show and just changed the characters. Like, there's just so much crazy stuff that happens in just the first episode. And you're just like, dude, this is wild. And honestly, I was very impressed. And I should have been, because the guy's not a bad actor, like by any stretch of the imagination. But the guy who plays like our main antagonist, who his name is always funny to me, because his name is basically another actor's name, but backwards. His name is Kingsley Ben Adir. But he plays he plays Gravik, who's supposed to be like because the whole idea of the show and the premise of it is that the Skrulls have been on Earth since you have to think about this with Captain Marvel. Skrulls, that means Skrulls have been on Earth since the mid-90s, because Captain Marvel takes place in the mid-90s, like 95, 96, kind of in that time frame. So Skrulls have been around since then. At the end of Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers was supposed to help the Skrulls find a home, and technically, while she did try, they never found one. And what's kind of crazy about that is that you think about that, Carter. Think about how far back that is. Think about how long it's been since 1995. Just think about that for a moment.
I don't want to think about that. I was 8. Jesus Christ. I know where I was living, what I was doing, and what I was playing.
Yeah. That was almost 30. Like that, if that tells you anything, that was almost 30 years ago.
Shut your mouth. You just made it worse.
So, like, for almost that long, Skrulls have not had a home, and they've been promised one. So that is why, like, when people, because that was the big question I remember people asking about with Captain Marvel. They're like, oh, well, Captain Marvel sanitized the Skrulls, like they didn't, like they weren't the big bad that that they are in the comics. Like that was I remember that being like a huge issue for a lot of people. A lot of people felt like, oh, well, y'all just made them nice, you made them cool. And well, yeah, you could, sure, you can make a case for, because they did technically use the Skrulls as a method to kind of, in a roundabout way, tell a story about what is honestly kind of like, commentary on immigration. It was pretty much commentary on immigration. The Skrulls were humanized and made to be sympathetic. And like I said, many people ask the question, well, how do you make them the bad guys in Secret Invasion? It's like, and this is how you do it. You do it by way of making them feel neglected or ignored, because you think about like, okay, well, Captain Marvel said she'd help us find a home. All right, well, 30 years have passed and she hasn't helped us find a home.
Waiting.
It's like, like the old Judge Judy gif where she's just like tapping on her phone. Like that's what they're doing at this point. And you get to Infinity War, and people get snapped. So that means a lot of other folks have left. That means the folks that were helping are no longer helping now because, like, Nick Fury, he was gone.
Yeah.
So now what? Like, now what do we do with this? What do we do with all this information now? But yeah, I personally, yeah, I dug it. I dug it a lot. I loved what it was setting up. I also liked, I believe her name is Olivia Colman, the actress.
Yeah. The Russian,
yeah. I really liked her performance in this. She was hilarious. And maybe it's because she was playing off of Samuel L. Jackson, and Samuel L. Jackson's just that smooth. But like, I really liked I liked what we got out of her character, and all we know is that she's, by all accounts, a terrible person. Like, all we know is that she's a terrible person who's an old spy master, no different than Nick Fury, but just on the other side of the pond. And I liked how they set up what we're going to be getting from her, like down the stretch. Let me ask you a question, though, Carter, and I want to see how you feel about this. How you feel about this assessment of the situation. Did you feel like Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury in this, and did you feel like that man had gotten too comfortable? Because I just want to preface what I'm saying here. I want to preface what I'm saying real quick too before you answer. There are multiple moments in this show where you could tell Nick Fury is, or rather, not Nick Fury, but Samuel Jackson. Sometimes I wonder if he is. There are moments where, I feel like he's playing Nick Fury, and then there's some moments where I feel like he is playing himself.
Yes, I feel like I can't remember who I had this conversation with, but I said several times that was not Nick Fury. That was Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh yeah, look, this is Nick
Just
Fury playing Samuel Jackson.
Exactly. This was like, especially with the scene with Olivia Colman, who was like, "Call a brother." Like, it was that. It was him talking to
Maria Hill. That was the one that got me.
Yeah, when he was like, spooks like me stop
help stop the Cold War.
Cold War, and he was like, and Maria Hill basically goes, you can't say that. And he's like, no,
you can't
say that. I don't see Nick Fury just saying something like that, but yeah, this was Samuel L. Jackson. And I don't say this negatively. Yeah, but this was Samuel L. Jackson not taking shit serious at all. Yeah. Right now, but I think the next episode is when he is about to turn up, just because of how this first episode we all got ended. So 100%. I think all of Samuel L. Jackson being Samuel L. Jackson, dressed like Samuel L. Jackson, I think that might be the last time we see that, because now shit is getting serious. Yeah, well, in the first episode of all things, not even. Yeah, we're not setting anything, or like, it's set up, but it's quick. Really quick. We're not taking a whole episode over. This is not going to be one of those things where, all right, so when you get to episode 3, that's when stuff starts happening. Ooh, when you get to episode 4, man, that's when shit about to turn up. Nope. It started in the first episode. Yeah. Now you're seeing who the players are. You're seeing what they're doing. You're seeing why they're doing it. Who can you trust? Who can't you trust? And there are going to be several times in this episode where you're going to be asking yourself, is that a scroll? Is that not a scroll? Which says, which really gives props to everyone involved with the direction and everything like that of this show. You really have to give major props to them, because it's still going to have you second guessing yourself. Correct. Because in a lot of these films and a lot of these TV shows, it's very easy to figure out who's who, what's what. Yeah. And it's good with this one where it's still keeping you on your toes, even if you are someone who has watched Marvel since it has started. So that's a very good thing with this show. But just going back to the question that you asked, I'm gonna tell you the first thing that popped into my head. This was one of my favorite films, them top 10, was Long Kiss Goodnight.
Yes.
That's the Samuel L. Jackson that popped into my head with just less cursing. I felt like that was him. So I really enjoyed, because it seemed like this was somebody who I was chilling in space. What y'all want, bro? I'm not going to be here long. I'm going back up there. I don't know why he was dressed the way he was dressed, like he bought all his outfits from Ross. But but I mean, I think this was somebody that thought that, okay, I can get this done real quick, real fast, then take my ass back up there. I have no reason to be down here. I don't want to be down here no more. So this was a really good episode. This was a really, really good episode. Samuel L. Jackson seemed to at least take one episode to just have some fun real quick. But now stuff's about to turn up.
Oh yeah, because we can't forget there's a shot from the trailer, and like I said, not every time you see something in the trailer doesn't mean it's actually going to be in the show or the movie, whatever that it's representing. But we got to remember, we've been looking at bum ass Nick Fury this whole time. We've been look. This dude is one step. This dude is one step from being Lawrence Fishburne in the John Wick franchise.
Oh no, you remember New Jack City when Gerald Levert and all them was singing about that dumpster fire?
Yeah.
Just enough. That's what Samuel Jackson looked like.
Oh no.
Like
That's him right now.
He be standing right outside the Carter, just singing his heart out. Can't even go in the building because G Money and them took it over.
But we also got to remember we still got this coming. We still got the return of the Mac, or rather the return of the Nick.
So here's my question to you, and this is what I had been thinking. So PJ just brought up something in the chat that could be dope, but this was something I wanted to ask you because you saw Captain Marvel.
Gotcha.
When I watched the trailer originally of Secret Invasion, and then you see, I just got my outfit from Burlington, Nick Fury. And then you see I just got my outfit from Ross and TJ Maxx Nick Fury. I was going to ask you, the one that we see that's the Nick Fury we know, Marvel films, after credit scenes.
Yeah.
This brother right here that you just pulled up, is this the Skrull one from Captain Marvel?
So for this, so Nick Fury.
Okay, go ahead.
Nick Fury and once again, it's been a minute since I've seen it. I've seen the movie several times, but like it's been a while since I've actually watched it like recently. But so the who you might be thinking about. Who you might be? Oh, I think I see what you're probably thinking like, oh, is that Talos pretending to be Nick Fury? Yeah, okay, so you're thinking about Far From Home. So in Far From Home, that was that was because Talos. I don't remember Talos pretending to be Nick Fury at any point in that movie, but at least not for any like long stretch of time. But I do feel like that's going to be something that comes up again. I do feel like there is going to be a point where, for those who are talking about, Ben Mendelsohn, well, I mentioned earlier, who plays the Skrull Talos.
It's good seeing him as a good guy.
Yeah, because he's usually a bad guy. Well, and that was the thing I thought was so weird. So, this is what I was talking about the bait and switch earlier with Captain Marvel, is that, all the trailers for Captain Marvel, they painted Ben Mendelsohn's character as the villain. Like, you go into the movie thinking he is the bad guy. But when you get to the movie, you're like, oh, he's actually not a bad guy. He's actually one of the good guys. And then you realize it's actually Jude Law, who's playing Yon-Rogg, who is the bad guy, which, to be fair, that's on brand because Yon-Rogg in the comics is a bad guy. Actually, both Talos and Yon-Rogg in the comics are both villains. But it was playing against type for Ben Mendelsohn to be playing a villain who actually, in fact, was not a villain. He's a sympathetic character. He goes about doing stuff kind of shady at first, but like once you get the the parlay between Captain Marvel and Talos, he's a good guy for the back half of the movie. Yon-Rogg is a dude who you pretty much almost could tell from the jump he's gonna wind up being the bad guy. Just because of how he acts towards Carol. But that said, I do feel like at some point that plot twist of Ben Mendelsohn, his Talos pretending to be Nick Fury during Far From Home, I have a feeling something like that's going to happen again. And also, I want to give a shout out to the people, because it takes a village to write these shows. Shout out to the writers who wrote the scripts. Because this is something I think, and we're going to talk a little bit more about something related to this here in a moment. But a lot of people don't know this, but the way Hollywood writing works, especially for TV shows, is that the writers are on set. That is why the WGA strike is fucking up so many movies right now. Because typically the writers are there because when they write the scripts for these TV shows, and even for some movies in some cases, but you see it more often for even TV shows, is that they're like, oh, hey, wait a minute. This line that we put in, it ain't coming out right. It's not coming out right. Yeah. Throw that shit out. Here's a new line. Here's a new line. And they do it for movies too. But yeah, sometimes just like they see something like, oh, wait a minute. Actually, you know what? This is something we can build on. Here, let's add this in. And then, everything comes together this way. So yeah, with that all being taken into consideration here, the fact that this show is able to spin so many plates as far as like giving Emilia Clarke, Samuel Jackson, Kobe Smulders, Ben Mendelsohn, everybody, Sam Jack, everybody is getting pretty fair amounts of time for character development. Even Olivia Colman as Agent Sonya Falsworth is getting an opportunity to kind of give you a little bit of insight into their character, kind of slow burning it. And I think honestly, probably the only person who doesn't get any character development in this is War Machine, Rhodey. But thing is, we already know Rhodey. We don't need to get to know Rhodey anymore for this, at least for this. But we know he's going to be in it more as the show goes on. But yeah.
I don't think he's going to be in it as much as people think. I don't think you're going to see the War Machine suit in Secret Invasion, if I can be completely honest with you.
No. Okay, I'm going to be brutally honest with y'all. And, granted, this could be wrong. And this is probably the hottest of hot takes. But I can tell you, I have read the cast sheet. I know what actors are in however many episodes.
Cheating ass.
Well, I had to look it up for to know who all was in and to get information or whatever. But I know for a fact how many episodes Rhodey is actually in on this show.
Okay.
So I could definitely say you are correct.
Okay.
I know how many. I didn't look this up ahead of time. I also know how many episodes Martin Freeman is on this show. For those who know, Martin Freeman plays Everett K. Ross.
I see somebody in the chat asking about leg braces. You want to know what Ross needed in that first episode?
Man, but no, all in all, show's fantastic. If I will say this, I will get to a little bit now. I feel a little more comfortable getting to just a briefest amount of spoiler territory. So if you have not seen the show or you are waiting to see the show, step away for a few moments or mute the tab for a few moments. Because there is something I definitely want to say because it is in regards to something that happens at the beginning of the episode. So real quick, I am going to give y'all just a little warning. Danger. Or actually, that's the wrong warning. Where's my... There it is. Spoiler alert. There it is. Bam. Just a little warning. Okay, so... Man! It was your boy the whole time, man.
John.
It was him the whole time, bruh.
The man who Joe Swanson himself,
man, bruh. With Let me tell you something. That was one of the smoothest action sequences and I want to point something out here. So I love John Wick. Don't get me wrong. This was a very Bourne Identity John Wickish kind of instance, not for fighting, but like a chase. This was a really good chase. But what I loved about just how at no point in my mind did I ever think I was going to see this motherfucker run off a fucking ledge, try and jump a fucking ledge and smack let me just say, when that motherfucker jumped across that, we jumped from that one ledge on the roof to the other one. I was thinking like, oh, he's going to jump and he's going to like just barely make, like he's going to be like hanging on to the edge of the other building, like, or he just barely makes it. Okay. When that motherfucker just smacked the side of the wall and just fell down and had the Dalsim leg.
Well,
had the Joe Swanson.
Well, you ain't gonna be a Super Scroll.
Right. I was like, Piebok, you are not. Look, you ain't even gonna be the Power Scroll. You just regular Scroll. But no, we lost a real one. Look, man, right here, I can here. Right here, bam, look at that. Got the Swanson leg. He doing one leg going one way, other leg going the other. I hollered at that shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I fucking hollered. I got up in my chair and walked around my room for a moment because that shit about killed me.
Man, I thought Scrolls supposed to be smarter than the human race, just jumping off goddamn bills and just catch it. Damn, you got sent right back to the lobby menu. Damn,
man,
boy.
look, that motherfucker look at the main menu like, damn.
That boy, he said he took maximum fall damage. Boy.
look, the only thing that was missing was like on GTA, the wasted.
Oh shit! Somebody's gonna do that now. Somebody's gonna do that now. Oh, if you all find somebody who did that, please send it to me.
Yeah, because I want to see that shit. But yeah, that and then like that was one of the first. That was the first shocking moment of the show. But then the second shocking moment is, man, I didn't think they was gonna fridge. I didn't think they was gonna fridge old Kobe like that. look, Maria Hill, like, damn, y'all really about to write me out this shit, huh?
And you know what? Like, it was done where I think it caught everyone off guard.
Mm-hmm.
Which
100%.
Which is signs that I just read the chat. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Now, I think if Ernie had that scene on deck, I absolutely think that he would play that goofy holler.
Oh yeah, no, I would. I would 100%.
But just going back to it, I think this actually shows that the show has something really good here. Yeah. Because no one's expecting Maria Hill to catch it.
No, not at all.
Just from so
not
especially
not at all.
You weren't expecting that to be. You weren't expecting that Nick Fury to be a Skrull because of and this is why I said they did it really well. Because of the scene where Nick was, all intents and purposes, you think, okay, that's the real one. She's just catching up to him. So that scene was actually done really well. It lets us know that Gravik, which totally sounds like a Mortal Kombat character's name,
it really did,
is not playing any games.
No.
And I cannot wait for Nick Fury to catch this little light-skinned bastard and give him the business. I cannot wait now. I cannot wait. Ben Mendelsohn was good because he got a little bit saucy with Nick in his fight scene because he told him that he was going to hang even though he could not hang. But it's just good to see. Like, I really like Talos in this, and I did not expect to like somebody who got snatched up by Bane and then turned into a goddamn Skrull. I wasn't expecting to like this dude or care about this dude, but I'm really liking his character. You still don't know if he can trust Gaia. You don't know if he can trust his daughter. You don't know who you can trust with everyone being a Skrull. And the key word there is you don't know who you can trust. This show is doing a good job of keeping like this show is good, and I'm really happy that I'll tell you, it made me think about Werewolf by Night because the one thing that I really liked about Werewolf by Night was that wasn't Marvel.
Yeah.
And when I say that wasn't Marvel, that wasn't what you're used to seeing. They're going out of their wheelhouse to do different things. Or in this case, they're actually going back to something they had done before, but it's been years since Winter Soldier. So to see them doing something different and they're sticking with it, and it's really well done. The Bendis shit is out of my mind now. After this
100%.
first episode, if the Bendis stuff is not out of your mind and you are not excited to see where stuff goes, something's wrong with you.
Yeah. Speaking of, that actually sets up perfect for a super chat here. It was when we got a little ways back from Monumental Comics with $10 talking about how these folks had their mouth all ready for Kool-Aid and got green stuff and espionage. He said they'll live. Samuel, get these motherfucking scrolls off these motherfucking planes. Dude, I'm waiting for those memes. I'm surprised I haven't seen more of those memes. But no, we also got Ed Boy the Cut here said Hitch did Miles line up so damn dirty at Ultimate Invasion. Had him looking like the Black Hulk from the 616. Look, yeah, that's Bishop Boy, ain't it? That's Bishop Boy, ain't it?
Are you talking about Tyrone Cash?
Yeah, Tyrone Cash.
Wait, no, Hitch didn't draw.
No, Brian Hitch, he did Ultimate. Yeah, Remember, you sent me the thing, the talking about the image. He's talking about the image that you sent me.
No, I know he's talking about, but I'm trying to think. I don't think that art, and this is, I do not mean to disrespect Brian Hitch any more than I already have, but I feel like the Tyrone Cash pictures that I'm thinking of, those were drawn too well to be Brian Hitch.
Well, no. He talking about the way dude look. He talking about Miles. He had Miles looking like that.
So if you take that one that you mousing over, add it about 7 more inches up. That's
how Miles look. Miles look like Tyrone Cash, like a motherfucker.
Ooh, Brian Hitch, why you do that to Miles? Because I sure as shit saw it. As soon as you saw Miles in bed, that didn't even look like Miles in bed. They looked like a grown ass man in bed. They look like me in bed. That did not look like
because this it right here. Look,
that's a grown man with a mustache and everything. He just look at that lineup, dog.
Bro, why they do him like that? Dude, what's up with the top of his head? Why it look like his hair? I mean, yeah, it's a comic. His hair looked like, you know what it looked like? You ever see those videos where the dudes get the spray on hair? Yeah.
Go back to it. I know exactly what happened. I'm gonna tell you how nasty Brian Hitch is as an artist. Now you have please pull that back up. I need everybody to see this. Now you know how you're gonna have some artists. They know how to make it seem like you're seeing something that you're not really seeing, whether it's like vast backgrounds. Like, move it up a little bit. Move it. Okay, right there. Cool. What he did was draw a tiny portion of the head and just made the rest of the goddamn pillow instead of drawing the whole head like he was actually laying on the goddamn pillow. Though half a Miles' skull is gone. That's a grown ass man. That's Carl Winslow in bed right there.
Why he got the 80s dad haircut?
Why is it that he got the George Jefferson look action going on right now?
Oh no! Like as soon as I saw it, beans don't burn on. I'm gonna say it now. Brian Hitch don't know no black folks.
Brian Hitch, you are a disgusting individual when it comes to these hairlines, and I wish you nothing but ill will when it comes to how you get your haircut from here on out. You are a sick, demented individual for what you're doing to these characters' heads. Sick man.
Well, you know, I think we talked about it before, didn't we? I think Brian Hitch be projecting. He be projecting his hairline on these characters because I don't know if you've never seen that motherfucker before, but he ain't got the best he ain't got the best hairline. I'm just gonna put it out there. Like
LP3 in the chat saying Hitch needs sensitivity training. It's offensive at this point. Look at that. Look at that.
Look.
That's not. That's supposed to be a V. Why is the V to the side? Oh, you see how far it is to the right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's supposed to be right there. Why is it over here?
Look, it's like you took Vegeta's hair but moved it over his left eye.
That's like you have your partner in front of you, legs spread, but you put them at an angle on the bed. Why would you do that?
Like why? Why?
That's a M turned to the side a little bit. That ain't even a V anymore. Get Brian. See, this is why, ladies and gentlemen, Blerd Cave fans of all ages and all sexes and everything,
sisters, brothers, and indies,
kings, queens, and non-binary things. This is why the Golden Hitch Award exists. That's why it exists.
It's because of that that motherfucker right there. But no, that shit about killed me. It about killed me. Oh Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus. We also got some more. We got some more here from our esteemed our esteemed Earth's Mightiest. We got one from LJ Brown with 30 months. Says, is it true that they suggested Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to watch before this? I think maybe. See, here's the thing though. I'm not gonna go back and watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because I didn't like that show. I ain't about to go back and watch some shit. It's kind of like, okay, so it's no secret. I love the TV show Star Wars Rebels. Mm-hmm. Now, Star Wars Rebels kind of assumes you've seen Star Wars, the Clone Wars animated series. But I fucking hate that show. I do not like it. Not one bit. Well, it's because it's a lot of freaking filler. Like, I remember going back one day and watching it and then realized, like, because it just seemed kind of disjointed. And then, like, I was talking with somebody, they were like, yeah, technically, a lot of the episodes in season 1 take place after something that happens later in season 3. And I was like, look, I ain't got time for that shit. Look, if I got to get a spreadsheet to figure out how to watch your show, I don't want it. Okay? And that's kind of how I felt about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I just did not like it. I liked aspects of it. Like, I liked the Ghost Rider segments of it. I liked the Deathlock segments of it. But, like, beyond that, that's it. That's it. I don't want nothing else from it.
I'll tell you what pissed me off about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I didn't even think about it until this chat. Secret Invasion is what I wanted Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to be. Facts. I didn't really want the campy shit with the two nerds. Like, I didn't really want that, like, extra stuff. No. When it came to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And yeah, you're right. The Ghost Rider stuff with Gabriel Luna, that was dope. That was fun. I was not expecting it, but I really wanted Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to be what Secret Invasion is. When I first heard that they were doing a show that was just going to revolve around Coulson and fucking S.H.I.E.L.D., I was not expecting, okay, Coulson's going to die every season and we just going to get a new variation of this motherfucker every season. I was thinking something along the lines of, like, Alias, if you all remember that TV show. Yeah. You know,
God, I was not Alias in forever. Jesus.
Yeah, but like Secret Invasion, Alias, that's what I wanted from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and that's why I have never, ever sat down to watch a full episode of that shit at all. I've seen clips of Ghost Rider, but other than that, I'm super straight. And so many people recommended Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to me. There are several people in the chat right now that love the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. More power to you all. I'm happy you all found a show that you genuinely loved and liked. But for me, I didn't want to see this shit because I wanted something else that show was not going to give me. So that's why I'm so happy about Secret Invasion, because this is what I wanted. This is
an infinitely better offering.
So I can't say that. You can say that because you've watched some agency. I can't.
No, this is infinitely better. I tried. I watched the first season. I think some of the second season. I was like, I can't do this anymore. But no, I also shout out to my lovely wife, Cynthia Ludi, with the $2 super chat. Says last day. Yeah, by the way, shout out because I can do this. I can hit buttons. Gonna drop the bomb for my lovely wife who just got her a new job that she is absolutely happy about, and this is her last day. She says she's gonna work till we are done, which is even more incentive for me to keep the show to 2.5 hours. Or at least under 3. I don't want to force my wife to work any longer than she has to. But no. Which, by the way, hope you're having a wonderful day at work, babe. Chi-Town Shogun with the $5 says, shout out to both of you guys. Keep up the good work. The ending of Secret Invasion is something that I didn't see coming. Thank you. Like I said, we appreciate that, and we didn't see it coming either. I think that was one of the things we both were talking about. It was. I just wasn't ready. Go Country Base Father said him smacking that pavement reminded me that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air episode.
I ain't no scroll expert or nothing, but I don't think Ross is supposed to be slamming into the ground like that.
Right? I'm just saying, like. We also got Legion with the $4.99 says the squirrel jumping off the building reminded me of Sam Jackson and the Rock jumping off the other guy. Damn.
Oh wow.
I'm not gonna lie, that might have slick been the best part. Not the best part, but just like the best opening.
My hero. Just funeral.
Oh, about dead. I'm about dead.
Oh man,
I'm about dead. Lord have mercy. We got LP3 here with the $5 says, what's the over under on Emma and Stark? They making it 2024? You know what? I feel like we're in a good spot right now. We might be able to go ahead and talk about it. Carter, let's move it on over. Well, we're not gonna talk about that just right away, but I'll definitely say we're gonna postpone this. I'm gonna come back to this. I promise you, LP3, because we are gonna be talking about this. I want to get something sad out of the way first, though, or not sad, but just misfortunate.
Okay.
Misfortunate. I want to get that out of the way. Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm.
The news came out this week that things are not well in the Spider-Verse studios. This is something that I'm not surprised by, but Carter, you're the one that actually presented this one to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna let you kind of take the lead on this one.
So I think you should, just because I'm going to.
Oh, you gonna let me get political? Oh, you gonna let me? You gonna let me carry the asterisk this week? Okay, all right, okay, all right.
Well, it's not even.
I'm joking. I'm just fucking with you.
See, with this, it's not even political. It's just to keep it brief, and then you and I can just kind of figure out where we stand on all of this. For all of you all that enjoyed Across the Spider-Verse, which is several of you, that movie has made millions.
Oh yeah,
but
it's making bank.
Here's the other side of things. For all those animations you liked, for all those scenes with how they were shot and how this animation style was with this animation style, and et cetera, it took a lot to do that.
Yes.
And with the news that came out this week from Vulture, it took a lot to do that, almost to an egregious extent. When people say that blood, sweat, and tears go into their work, in this case, the blood, sweat, and tears went into it, whether you liked it or not. Basically, what came out about this film was that there was harsh working conditions from several of the animation teams from the film. And the one thing that I do want to say about it is, if you all are going to be angry at anybody, and I'm not going to say all of you, because I feel like a lot of people that are fans of ours, that are fans of this, have some sense to not, because you all know, like I've brought it up several times, not to be the Dan Slott hater of it all, where you're sending death threats to this person, or you're going at this person on Twitter, or that person, and things like that. The people that need to be looked at in this case are Sony.
Yes.
To get this movie out, to make the millions that they made from it, billions at some point, it was going to take a lot, but again, this just goes back to very, very, very harsh working conditions. That's where we're going back to now.
Yeah.
Back to harsh working conditions, when we thought this was something that, with a lot of the harsh working conditions and things like that that have come out about several different Marvel products, several just films and things in general, you would think that people and groups and companies would know that, okay, we have to maneuver around this differently. We can't do this, especially with XYZ person getting thrown into the fire. Sony just chose to ignore that and had been doing that shit anyway. A lot of people that are behind the film that have dealt with these harsh working conditions said that, you know, if any of you know, the sequel to Across the Spider-Verse has been delayed. And with everything that is going on with the studios that Sony is paying and forcing to do all of this, or not, I won't say forcing, because you could very easily say no, but then you're broke and whatever else that entails. But a lot of them are saying, well, that doesn't surprise me that the sequel has been delayed, just because of how everyone is legitimately getting run ragged.
Yeah.
Just to put this one out.
Correct.
So, like I said, like this isn't anything political. This is a company not knowing how to. We got to get it out there. We trying to make money.
Well, it's political in the sense that we're talking about fair wages and working conditions, which is a hot button topic right now in the political arena.
Gotcha.
Which is, I mean, there's a whole WGA strike going on. The Screen Actors Guild, SAG.
Yeah.
They just recently got their, I think, or was it SAG, or I think it was the Directors Guild, just recently got their stuff wrapped up. But yeah, right now, fucking with workers, it's not a smart move. It's not a smart move by any stretch of the imagination. But what I will say about this, because I do have opinions here.
Yeah, of course.
It's so I want to put this out. The budget for this movie, $150 million. This movie has made $512.6 million. Worldwide, you can afford to pay these people what they are worth. If you're going to well, it's not even so much the payment, it's it's how much. Like, they're working, I think I saw in the article, what was it, anywhere between 11 to 12, 14, 15-hour days, basically all damn day, that these people were working to bring the artistry that, that we love, which, I mean, to be fair, it's not anything that goes unappreciated. But this has led to dozens upon dozens of artists. I think it says here that because of the revisionism that took place over the course of the movie, because I think a lot of people may or may not remember, but the movie underwent a rewrite was in the last year or so. Yeah. And this led to a lot of crunch. And if you're familiar with video games, like video game industry, you know what this is. Whenever you hear the word crunch, you start to go, oh, so basically what this means is, to get this game out on time, that means that the entire dev team is going to be working round the clock, sleeping under their desk, being away from their families for months on end, so on and so forth. That's what you associate with crunch, because that is what crunch is. Which is why it's such an ugly term, and why a lot of video game publishers try not to use that word anymore, because they know how charged it is and what people are going to think about when they hear it. But this led to like over 100 different animators leaving across the Spider-Verse. Now, we actually were talking about this in the Discord yesterday, oddly enough.
Yeah.
I believe it was myself. And I believe was it Stringer? I think it was me and Stringer were talking about this in the Discord. I honestly don't remember. I've slept since then. Mm-hmm. But the or no, I think wait, going back.
See, okay, it
was me and Stinger. It was me and Stinger that were talking about. But no, basically, it was the topic of AI came up, because we didn't talk about this with Secret Invasion, but I guess we can talk about it now because it kind of folds into it. But it also does surprise me why there were some instances of AI used, but we're not talking about the same thing here. As far as like why it was used, AI a lot of times is used to simplify task for individuals. Like in the case of the Secret Invasion controversy.
Put me on game on that real quick.
Talk about with Secret Invasion?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know the intro for Secret Invasion, the opening title sequence. People got upset because it was pretty obvious that they used AI to create the look of the animation style and everything. It was all AI. Like you can spot AI art and animation like a mile away. But the thing is, the showrunner defended it because they said it was supposed to kind of give off this vibe of unsettlingness, and that's kind of what AI art looks like. It's kind of unsettling a lot of the time. But the idea here was basically that people were upset because they're like, oh, well, you took jobs away from artists that could have done that. And the idea here is they kind of technically didn't, because they still had visual effects artists working on that. They just used AI to enhance what they were already doing. It's kind of what Spider-Verse does, where there's certain like the framing techniques that they use to cut frames, and some of the other like effects that you don't even think about, the outlines that go around characters like Spider-Punk. A lot of stuff like that is done using AI because it's easier to make sure all of it stays where it's supposed to be. And when people say, oh, well, AI, that's terrible, that's where I come out and say, it depends on what you're talking about. Like, a lot of people don't know this. I use AI in almost every video that I make. And I know some of you are probably going to go, oh, see, Blerd's taking away money from video editors. No, because technically I would still be editing my videos myself. But whenever I superimpose an image over something, that's AI. Keyframing, that's AI. I'm telling the computer to move something without me having to move it myself. I'm like moments when I blur something out in a scene where there's a moving picture, I have to tell DaVinci Resolve, hey, see the spot right here? Even if the camera pans, can you keep that over it? So that way I don't have to do it myself, and I don't have to keyframe each individual element of that. AI is used in everything, whether people realize it or not. Whenever I want to make my thumbnails for my videos, I use AI to cut images out. And while it doesn't always do it perfectly, I usually have to go back and trim it up myself. So yeah, I think people don't get AI. They think that when people think of AI, they think of Chat GPT. And I know some people try to say that's why they used AI is because, and I'm talking about Spider-Verse here, because all the animators left. That's not exactly why they did it. They did it because even the animators that were still there, regardless of who left, stayed, whatever, they would have used AI regardless. It's just the nature of this. It's the same thing people said when the calculator was invented. Oh, people are no longer going to do math for themselves. And yet, decades later, people still technically do math for themselves. It was the same thing that happened when the television was invented. People thought, oh, no one's going to go to the movies anymore because they can just watch the movies at home. It's like, no, they still technically got to wait. Anytime a new invention comes along, especially if it's a technological one, the technological advancement, people always just assume that it's going to take over. And we're not there yet. We're nowhere near there yet. But that said, the people who fled from working on the movie because of the harsh working conditions, not only have they cited harsh working conditions, but they also said that the next movie, Beyond the Spider-Verse, is not going to come out when people think it is. It is going to get delayed because they said, even though technically, remember when we talked about in the review, we said, oh yeah, they made the whole movie together all at once. Technically, while that is true, it is not true. They still technically have a lot, apparently there's still a lot of pre-production that's involved, like the way that I think there was someone who spoke under anonymity, that likely because they still work in that motherfucker. They said that the movie technically hasn't been made yet. Like they still have to do all the pre-rendering and a lot of pre-production stuff. And when you start talking about pre-production, that means that you aren't even started making the thing that you're making. Like you're getting started on making the thing that you're making, which is kind of counter to what was initially said in interviews. They said, oh yeah, the movie's basically done. There's going to be going back and doing touch-ups and adding things, like, going back into the editing process and making sure everything's rendered correctly. Yeah. So now that doesn't sound like the case. So I don't know. Just like with everything else, I always want to believe the people who are victimized. Always. I always want to hear them and I always want to believe them. And I do in this case. I believe them because studios lie. What are the directors of Spider-Verse supposed to say? What are the writers of Spider-Verse supposed to say when they go do these interviews and be like, oh yeah, we haven't even started on the sequel yet. For something that was supposed to be started like all at once. So yeah, they're not going to say it. Same like what we said with Ezra Miller when we were like, oh yeah, of course the studio's going to say that, Ezra Miller's their Flash, going forward. What are they going to do? Say that Ezra's out before the movie comes out? That's box office suicide right there. Yeah, so yeah, of course. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, you know what? Yeah, and I know Carter knows this saying pretty well. There's three sides to every story. There's their side, and then there's the truth somewhere in the middle. So honestly, there's probably a lot of things that are true on both sides of this. And then you get to the middle of it, and it probably gets a little more muddy, and then you get the truth out of it. But I definitely want to say I advocate for the workers. I advocate for the workers 100%. I don't like, as a person who worked in like where I had to work, like I literally had to work a job where I was having to work more hours than what a person probably should. Yeah. In a week, having to do like 60, 70, whatever hour weeks, when technically I was only supposed to be doing like 40 or 50 max. Yeah, I empathize. So yeah. Carter, you got anything else on this? You got any other thoughts?
It's rough to see it, and because I think someone in the chat was saying like 77-hour work weeks and a lot, and then I saw another comment in the chat saying that's normally something you would see with like the military and things like that. So just imagine that for a normal human being that's not prepared or not ready to do that. But, for some people, I think it's more so a monetary thing where like the money is there. So they'll kind of get through it. And I know that was one argument I did see a lot, but if they're getting paid for it, and I don't know about that one, but
yeah, I don't like the they're getting paid. It's like, look,
you still gotta come. You gotta come from it. You have to come to it like from a health kind of perspective and things like that, and just caring about that person's well-being. So it's fucked up to hear, and this will be something that I think maybe some people here and there will be thinking about, when the next film comes out. But and a lot of people will disagree with what I'm about to say now, and this is me saying it. It's not the Blair Without Fear saying it. This is Carter saying it. But I think that's not going to really do anything with people buying it, with people spending all that money to go watch it again and again and again, or buying or going to see the new film when it comes out. That you have to hear that, you know, people had harsh working conditions to get this movie out for everyone's enjoyment. So I think that's just, it's almost gonna, and I hate to say this, but I feel like this is just gonna be something that's just gonna fall on deaf ears after like maybe a week or so.
Yeah, it'll be a hot button issue for a little bit, and you know it'll probably come back up whenever Beyond the Spider-Verse comes out again. Probably like leading up to and then around. Like it'll be a thing. Like it'll sneak back into the public zeitgeist again every once in a while. I will definitely say, and I'm reading some things in the chat here. I saw someone bring up, the Sony, for all intents and purposes, violated child labor laws when it came to having that 14-year-old that made the Lego Spider-Man sequence, more or less. Which, I mean, that is technically kind of true. I mean, because if I'm not mistaken, I think the kid got paid for it, but it's one of those deals where you're hiring a minor. That's one of those weird, like, sketchy situations too. You're hiring a minor to do something. Yeah.
Well, in the sense of, so I'll say this: no one said that before this news came out, but now, you know what I'm saying?
It's a thing that's being pointed out now, like once all this other stuff.
Because beforehand it was like, oh,
it was celebrated.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was celebrated.
So it's that kind of shit is just it's murky. It's very, very murky.
Apparently, someone said some animators died for each frame. I don't know. I haven't heard anybody read
shit like that. That might be a tad bit extra, but maybe you've read something that I didn't read. But you know, you really have to be careful about where you get your sources from. That's what I've learned. That's why when I sent Ernie this story, I went and I read some other news outlets that had this as well, because I'm still of the belief, and this is something that Denzel Washington said during an interview. I'm going to butcher how he said it, but basically the news and things like that, it stopped being about truth and started being about getting it out first.
Yeah. It was the race to be first.
Yeah.
But no one's trying to be the first to be accurate.
There you go.
Yeah. So. That's something I live by. That's why I always tell people I don't go out of my way anymore to be like, the first to be like, ooh, I said this and I was the first one, and pick me. It makes me, you know what it is? It's pick me culture. Yeah, is what it in a roundabout way. It's like, hey, it's me. It was me. I did it. Come see, look at me. But yeah. Let's see here. I'm going back and looking at a couple of things. Here, this is actually, we got a super chat here that we can technically answer right now. This one's from the homie Legions. I'm not that knowledgeable about scrolls, but I do know they shapeshift in comics. But is that one of their powers to make tentacles and tendrils? They can shapeshift into pretty.
Freaking fool. We know why you asked that question.
Well, it's because we see it in the trailers. There's a part where we see Gravik. He makes the little tendril arms. Scrolls, yes, they can't do that in the comics. They can basically think of scrolls as like T-1000s. They can make, because they can turn their arms and limbs and other parts of their body into like weapons and shields and all kinds of crazy stuff. So, I mean, that is a part of their physiology. Like, Squirrels are their bodies are incredibly malleable, which is kind of wild to think about, honestly. Let's see here. Where are we at on these? We got some more here. We got one, the homie extra right here with 33 months is just happy to be here and show support. We appreciate you, Pim, for that. Thank you for that. And those 33 months, my guy. Man, we also got the homie X Triv in here with the 1999 super chat. Says just getting through my last day of work before vacation. Shout out to my grandson turning 1 on Tuesday. Hey. Yes, Lord. Dude, happy birthday. Also, man, first birthdays, dude. Those. Woo! look, I'm gonna drop the bomb for you, man. Woo, man. And many more, and many more. It says peace and blessings to everyone. Hey, enjoy your vacation. We also got Tubes, the one with the $10 says, I'm against AI art for things like video creation because it looks inhuman and soulless. However, if that's what you're going for, then it works. That using it as a tool, not to save money from paying artists. Yeah, and okay, and that's, here's the thing. That is a difference. That is a difference. If you are and this is something I talked about in the Discord. Using it to streamline your workflow, I think is one thing. Using it to just do something like just entirely, I think is wrong. Like when I use AI in my work, like case in point, back in the day, because I use Adobe Audition, I used to, whenever I would record something, to make sure that it got rid of all like the background noise and the hum. I had an AI deal that would like go in and meticulously pick out all the moments where there was audio that was above a certain range, and it would just remove it for me. So I didn't have to go through and painstakingly try and figure that shit out for myself. Shit made my work a lot easier. You know, however, I think that, yeah, if I feel like if I went into the lab and said, hey, make me a whole video about this and do all the shit for me, do everything for me. That is a whole other story altogether, because then there's no creativity behind it. There's no actual artistry behind it. If you can actually have some artistry behind it, I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. But yeah, the second that you're using it as a replacement for an actual like worker, that's when I'm like, that's a little shady. A little shady there. A little shady. A lot of shady there, actually. Man, also, dude, Gearless Mo out here with the 29 months says, get the motherfucking likes up, goddammit. Says, I'm in a goddamn diamond mine out here for you motherfuckers. Get them likes up. Which, by the way, I want to say something real quick, too, because I don't, this is a personal moment, actually, between myself and our great Jonathan Moda out here, who actually did your boy a huge service yesterday. That didn't require he spend one dime. And it was just simply a kind word. So for those who don't know, I think I've talked about this before. I've been working on a comic for a while.
Yeah.
I've been writing the Bible, the character Bible, world Bible for the comic for like the last like 2-3 years, maybe even 4. And I had finally, within the last several months, written a script for it. It was first draft. Yeah. Jonathan Moda was one of the people I sent it to. And he got back to me about it. Has Jonathan Moda seal of approval. And honestly, that's all that matters to me. I don't care. Yeah. Fuck all the rest of the motherfuckers.
So have you tweaked it since we last spoke about it? I know you were talking about like the name and different things like that.
I'm still workshopping the title. Yeah. I actually am workshopping the title of the book, but I'm also I've decided I'm just going to keep the name of the main character because I'm too attached to it at this point. I don't care about any comparisons, and by that point, honestly, if it tells you anything, how little I actually think of the person who his name sounds very similar to, I didn't even think about it till I think you pointed it out to me. Like, it didn't even cross my mind because I just don't think about that comedian at all, like ever. Like ever. Not a day in my life do I ever go, interesting. I wonder what Kevin Hart's doing. I never think about it. But no, I got the seal of approval from Jonathan Moda. That's all I needed. But no, We got the homie Legion also here with another 499 says, I heard that back when Dark Phoenix came out, they tried to use the scrolls but got told no, so they went with the Kirkland brand by Costco. So what Legion is talking about here, some of you may or may not know this. So back in the day, there was of course there was a Dark Phoenix story arc. There was also the planet that Jean Grey, or rather the Dark Phoenix more so, had annihilated during that time frame. Well, the people that were destroyed, they were referred to as I forget what their actual name is. I think it's like the Debari or the or something like that. It's like the Debari. But for the longest time, they used to just be called the Broccoli people.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask you. Those broccoli fuckers from X-Men Apocalypse.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But this is what they this is what they look like. But yeah, I think I did hear something. I don't know how true it is, but I did hear something way back that originally they wanted it to be the Skrulls. But for whatever reason, maybe that didn't come to fruition for one reason or another. But it's very possibly true. It could be. I wouldn't be. But yeah. What I will say. But getting back to the AI part of it, it's the problem with AI art is when they take other people's art, because I've legit had people come to me and it was one cat who, and I'm not gonna put him out there because I don't even remember their name if I'm being brutally honest, but I remember someone sent a comic to me that was made using 100% generated AI artwork, and I know for a fact that artwork came from other actual artists who were not being paid for their work. So they were wanting me to talk about it on the channel or some shit. And I was like, yeah, I'm not getting behind that. Not at all. Let's switch our gears up. Let's switch our gears up here. The Stark Frost wedding. There's a lot to talk about with old Stark Frost, which I know for a lot of people, I think the main thing is that it felt like it came from out of nowhere, or actually wrong one, meant to do that one. Which in a way it kind of did. Because technically at this point, Iron Man and Emma Frost have not had, why is it still giving me that? Anyway, Emma Frost and Iron Man have not had as many interactions with one another since Jerry Duggan took over Iron Man, though there have been an issue. There was one issue where they kind of did some back retconning of Iron Man and Emma Frost, how they know each other personally. Okay. Kind of like what was done with Emma Frost and Kingpin during Devil's Reign. Jerry Duggan's gone back and said, hey, okay, back in the day, here's some interaction between these characters. And he kind of did it again here with Iron Man and Emma Frost. And they've had some interactions more recently, but their interactions more recently have been, I won't say antagonistic, but they definitely weren't pleasant. But the Hellfire Gala just this past go around, we saw that Iron Man had basically called out Emma for the wiping of Reed Richards' mind in the X-Men Fantastic Four crossover.
So somebody finally went back to that, huh?
Yeah. Well, Reed finally figured it out, and Reed told Tony, and Tony said something to Emma when they were having a conversation with one another. And it's kind of why in Jerry Duggan's Invincible Iron Man wasn't terribly happy about the idea of having to reach out to Emma Frost for help. But also with everything going on with the Stark Sentinels and all this other stuff. And this is what I basically told everybody when this shit was announced. I think a lot of people thought that when I posted the image of it on Twitter that I was shocked. or that like I didn't know why it was happening. And this kind of lets me know what people follow me on Twitter who actually watch my YouTube stuff versus who don't. I was like, I know exactly what's going on. There were so many people that were coming to me trying to explain the situation to me. And I was like, I get it. I know. I was like, I was just making a joke. Like I was just saying something funny. I know exactly what's going on here. I am terminally dialed in to everything going on with the X-Men. I'm terminally dialed into what's going on with Invincible Iron Man right now because I've been covering the comic pretty regular. But my whole thing is, and this is basically what I said on Twitter, was this is not a marriage of love. This is a political wedding. This is a wedding for political power. And what I mean by that is because, neither of these two characters are in politics, but just figuratively speaking, this is to show solidarity. This is one of those things it's kind of like when royals get married. Yeah, it's like, oh, well, we're trying to solidify power. Showing that the Avengers, and what better way other than actually just having the Avengers and the X-Men like work together as a group publicly, but what is one of the most obvious ways to be like, hey, the Avengers and the X-Men, they're kind of on the same side here, is to have one from either side get married. We also got to think about the fact Stark is broke. Like, because I saw a lot of people saying, oh man, Emma gold digging. I was like, first off, y'all need to get in line. Emma was rich before she met Tony Stark.
I think people are forgetting about the whole reason that Sebastian Shaw is on the council in the first place with the Hellfire Trading Company. They have, I think people aren't reading X-Force to know that Beast took several billions to make the space prison here.
Yep.
A lot of y'all just talking and don't read nothing, man. Or y'all reading one fucking thing and think this goes back to the conversation we were having before the show started. Somebody trying to tell you about yourself or tell you about something, only know two things.
Yeah. Oh no, it's 100% that. It's 100% that. But yeah, this is basically, this is a political wedding.
I like a marriage of convenience.
Yeah, marriage of convenience. Yes.
I like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Because, I mean, once again, Tony don't got no money. He broke. He spent all his money during the Christopher Cantwell run. That literally just passed. Right before Jerry Duggan took over. He spent all his money trying to lock down all those weapons of mass destruction. Trying to lock down the 10 rings that now belong to Riri Williams. So I think people need to calm down. It's not like Emma ain't gold. Honestly, if anybody's gold digging here, if there was any gold digging going on, it would be Tony, because Tony is broke. He don't even have his brownstone no more. His brownstone got blown up. He ain't got shit. Tony ain't got the pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. That dude is literally slumming it on the Avengers headquarters couch. Man is broke. Look, Maverick, look. I want to show y'all something. Hold on, wait a minute. Here, let's enhance. Look. This is a look of a man who just realized he married a woman that was high value and he ain't got to do nothing. All this man got to do is wake up. That's all he got to do now. He ain't got to do nothing.
Real quick, what issue did Reed go to Tony in? Was that the newest? Was that the current Invincible Iron Man with the Jerry Duggan's writing?
No. Okay, so this happened at the Hellfire Gala.
Got you.
This was actually here. I'm gonna pull it up.
Damn, and I read that. You got a picture?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up here. Hold up. That is not the right one. That is Planet Size X-Men. Get out my face. Here it is. It was a Hellfire Gala of 2022. And right here. Here's the imaging question. Or actually, let's do it this way. There you go. That might work a little bit better. Here, I'm gonna drag it over just a little bit. Or you know what? Screw it. Let's just do it like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm remembering.
Yeah, so Eric and Charles came to me. They took something from my mind. I figured out how to mask the X gene. They made no secret of taking the knowledge. They wanted me to know. So I mean,
exactly how that went. Yeah,
that is precisely how it went. That is precisely how it went. But basically when last Tony and Emma had bumped into each other, this was their last conversation before like all the Invincible Iron Man stuff.
That I do remember.
Yeah. He's like, he was like, hey, you gonna let me remember? You gonna let me remember this conversation? So yeah, that I think that's also another reason why people are kind of taken aback as to why this is even happening. But yeah, I knew, I kind of had a rough idea all this was gonna happen back when Iron Man, I know we talked about this before too, when they had that issue where Emma Frost was on the cover and everybody was freaking out because everybody's like, oh, she's taking over the book. That means are they about to make Emma Frost the new Iron Man or something? Like everybody was just being real stupid and ignorant about this. But I was like, yeah, I remember Jerry Duggan saying something along the lines that he was going to be putting Emma Frost and Tony Stark on a trajectory with one another where they would end up becoming romantically involved somehow, some way. And I was like, oh, well, I'm just going to wait to see how he pulls this rabbit out of the hat. But yeah, I want to go back to something we were talking about earlier, Carter, in regards to this before we actually get to the main thing. And I've seen a lot of people talking about how is Scott gonna feel? How is Scott gonna feel about this? You know what? No one cares what Scott thinks about this right now. No one cares what he thinks or feels, because I'm gonna tell you what Emma Frost remembers. I will tell you what Emma Frost remembers. Like I said, I was reading that Matthew Rosenberg Uncanny X-Men right before House of X came out. And let me tell you what happened. When that was so it was Uncanny X-Men number 22. That was when Jean Grey had revealed to Scott that she was back. That she was alive and well. She was back. And this is why I thought a lot of what's going on right now was really hilarious, is because when it all came down to it, you saw Jean Grey show up out of a burst of flame. She walks smooth past Wolverine. Like, didn't even give him a second look. She walked smooth past Emma Frost, who had literally just shaved the side of her head to save mutant kind. And she went straight to Scott. And I want to see everybody focus on how Emma look at that picture. No. I want you to look. Hold on. Enhance. Man, look at how Logan. Wait, hold on. Let me see if can I get Logan in this shot? Let me see if I can get him in this. Oh, I'm gonna have to do it like this. Look at how Logan looking.
So I'm gonna
He's
tell
like,
you
damn, man, it could have been me. It could have been me.
Here's the thing. In the Cohen era, it
was. He's like, it was. Also, I just want to point out too, I love the fact that Emma got so mad she grew most of her hair back. Just in that shot, like it was like, oh yeah, I'm so mad. I'm getting all my hair back.
Is she looking at the cakes of Jean Grey? And see now.
See, okay, so this is why perspective is kind of weird. So basically, here, let's zoom it back out. So what's supposed to be happening is we're supposed to be looking at them from like an overhead perspective almost, which is why art is always so weird. It's kind of like, this is one of those scenes where like, kind of reminds me of the old days. Remember like back in the old Jim Lee era, like 90s, you see a character like Psylocke and you would be able to see her boobs and her ass at the same time. Because the way she be turned, she be looking at you this way, but she be twisting her body, her lower body, so you could technically still see like some of her ass crack at the same time, while you can still see her her boobs facing towards the towards you, I guess the reader. Perspective is weird, but yeah, that was just people contorting their bodies in fucked up ways. But yeah, Emma remembers this. Emma's memory ain't short. She
Even
remembers
when she
this
was
moment.
smashing him in Krakoa. I still ain't forgotten that.
Oh yeah, she was like, "Oh no, She's like, "No, I ain't done with you yet." Also, I love that was that. Did I ever tell you that was probably one of my favorite lines? From I think that was like one of my favorite lines from any of the anything that Emma has done recently. Like my and what for those who know what I'm talking about, it was in that issue where Emma was getting her hair cut and she was like, "This is how the man decides to fuck me." That was probably one of my favorite things I think I've ever heard Emma Frost say. Oh, but no, that is basically in aid of saying, yeah, Emma don't care about Scott right now. She don't care. Now, will this be a similar arrangement? Like I said, because this is like, it's a marriage of convenience. There's probably no real actual romance here. Maybe there will be somewhere down the road. Will Scott get to hit them cheeks on the side every now and again? Maybe. I don't know. I think that's honestly not even the most important aspect of this. You know what I feel is the most important aspect of this, Carter, that I feel no one is talking about? There is something that shows up in that image that I was just showing y'all of Emma and Stark walking down the aisle. And it's something no one's talking about. Carter, who is that in the background?
Oh, wow. Oh, Lord.
Who is that in the back right here? I'm gonna enhance it some more. Hold on, because y'all gonna see this shit.
Wait,
Look at
what? Wait, okay. So are they standing? Are they sitting on a giant?
They're sitting on that's stature. I believe that she's sitting on the.
So that's why her and Miss America are like that.
Yeah.
Well,
so
remember, y'all supposed to feel some type of way in there.
I'm just saying, look here. Enhanced. I've enhanced it. Look, I mean, I know it's a little fuzzy. Because technically you're not supposed to view this image that close up. But that's a whole Ms. Marvel right there. Now, you could make the argument, oh, well, actually, this was made before the announcement that Ms. Marvel was going to be dead, and they probably just put her back there just cause. Stop.
I'm going to crack up if this issue comes out. This takes place before the death of I'm going to crack up.
No, I tell you what, the only reason I think it doesn't, I think because Marvel's already used that card. And technically, it can't take place before that because Scott knows. Scott knows about the, like literally, Scott knows about the death of Ms. Marvel. And I'm pretty sure when Emma left him, talking about how she had other fires to put out, I'm pretty sure one of those fires is going to go talk to Tony about hooking this shit up. Plus, they just use their get out of jail free card on the whole, oh, this takes place before, because I don't know if you've seen this, Carter, because I know you said you don't really read Captain Marvel like that. So, the most recent and final issue of the Kelly Thompson run of Captain Marvel has already used that card. And you know why I say that, Carter? Because guess who is in that 5th issue?
Miss Marvel?
Yes, she is. They bump into each other at Carol's coming home party. And basically, yeah, this takes place beforehand.
I really want people to be wrong. I didn't mean to cut you off, but
Yeah,
I really want people to be wrong because everybody and their mama is just saying that she's gonna get resurrected on the Krakoa so she can be more in line with the MCU counterpart.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope you people are wrong, because if they go for that easy like,
it's easy.
I'm really hoping they're gonna go do something different just to be like, hi, got your ass. If they real deal, if we didn't call this long-term booking this well in advance.
Well, okay, so here's something I want to point out. She is not on the X-Men side of the aisle. She's not on the X-Men side of the aisle. Like, if you look, Emma has people on X-Men on her side. Tony's got Avengers on his side. She's not on that side. She is clearly on the Avengers side of this whole deal. But something I want to point out is, I think, and I could be wrong here, but you know what I think Cyclops did after Emma told him the news?
He started hating on Tony Stark because Tony Stark rocking them ruby quartz glasses in that wedding photo.
Yeah, he actually, you know what? I never noticed that. He sure fuck is. Look at it. He's like, yeah, I got ruby quartz. He's like, you like him with the, well, he's like, you like him with the red on, right? You like him with the red on, right? Yeah, he's like, I got him. He said, baby, I got diamond quartzes. You look, I got them all.
Oh, shit. Got a Wiccan back there with Hulkling and everything.
Oh yeah, yeah. Look at that. Look.
Scott Summers is Spectrum. Scott Summers is sick right now, dog.
Oh yeah, 100%. Oh, also I want to point out, yeah, right here. Yeah, look. Wait, you can't really see him right here, but because he's kind of cut off to the side. Yeah, there's Scott right there. Look, he look mad as hell. He's like, God damn it.
Yeah, look, he can put the blue back on there.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm putting my full skull cap on.
Ooh, I know that Scott Summers has some Playa Fly on his playlist, because he is listening to Nobody Needs Nobody.
Man, what you said. Look, let me tell you something. I just want to point out something here. Storm just glad that heifer ain't using her body to do this shit. That's what that is.
It says, okay. Okay. Now I really got to ask the question because of who I just saw in that shot. Did somebody just draw this cover not knowing anything that's happening in the X side of things? Because why is Abigail Brand there, bro?
Oh, that's Polaris.
Is that who that is?
Yeah, that's Polaris back there.
Okay, I thought she was like in her sword drip. Oh,
no. See, the giveaway is her hair. You see, her hair is a lot longer down here, but she's also holding her patented Starbucks. Her patented Starbucks coffee cup.
Green and the sunglasses that Abigail was constantly wearing. So,
yeah,
okay.
No. That's Polaris.
Gotcha.
But no, the funny thing is, the funny thing in all this though is, I don't think, honestly, you know what? They probably won't make Kamala Khan a mutant, but or maybe they will. I don't know. But I definitely think after reading that last issue of X-Men, Scott's ride or die for Kamala Khan. He's ride or die for Kamala Khan. I would be shocked, absolutely shocked. But I would be terribly shocked if Scott didn't go straight to the 5 and be like, hey, y'all need to fix this shit. Y'all need to fix this shit, and quick. But yeah, I mean, because Scott's ride or die. He probably put in a good word for Kamala so she can get brought back. But it would be funny, it would be, and yeah, this is just me kind of overthinking it, but you know what I think would be funny is, because she's an Inhuman, what if the mutant resurrection process doesn't work on Inhumans? Like, what if they, because you remember what was the whole thing was Terrigenesis killed mutants.
See,
so what if they had like the resurrection? What if the resurrection doesn't work on Inhumans?
So here's the thing.
Yeah,
I feel like they could very easily be like, okay, dude, you're thinking too much into this shit.
Mm-hmm.
We brought back Steve Rogers, and no one talks about that anymore.
Yeah,
We could very easily just bring Kamala Khan back and be like, "Hey, man, it's comic books."
Yeah.
So,
What if they had to edit her DNA though? What if they had to edit her DNA just because she's inhuman to where like, oh, we had to bring it back as a mutant?
dog, I'm telling you thinking the intelligent route and not the.
I'm not thinking the Excelsior. I'm not thinking
You don't even know
Stanley-ish.
Xavier didn't had Miss Marvel back us to when G. Willow Wilson was writing the book. Why? Who the fuck cares? Excelsior.
Well, I mean, you go back to what was it, Trial of Magneto? They still had Wanda Maximoff and Quicksilver in Cerebro, despite the fact they weren't mutants anymore. But it was a backup from when they still thought that they were mutants. Oh, dude, you know what this means? You know what okay, you want to know what's really telling? I just thought about this now. You know what I think the other thing no one's talking about? Because you pointed her out, and now I want to point her out. Spectrum is there. But you see what side she's sitting on. After everything she'd have found out. After everything she'd have revealed. She's like, yeah, I'm just going to sit over here where I'm comfortable. They ain't got no good chairs on the X-Men side.
So that's something you're going to have to put me on game on after the show. But
yeah,
you got to put me on game on that one. I don't know what you're alluding to there.
Oh,
or maybe people in the chat will do it as well. But
well, no, okay. So, did you read any of the
first issue, and that was it?
That was it. Okay, cool. So basically, what you need to know, is that recently, they did the whole deal with Monica Rambeau. Where in the Photon series, I believe this was in issue number 4.
Okay.
Yeah, issue 4, I believe it were. They revealed Monica always had her superpowers. She had them when she was a kid, like as young as like 9-10 years old. It wasn't the explosion that gave her powers. It just unlocked what she was repressing. So Monica Rambeau, and they don't use the word mutant in the issue, they just imply that she has always had her powers. They just imply that she is a mutant, that she was always a mutant, and she just never really talked about it. But these were memories that she had repressed, is basically what the reveal was. I did a whole video talking about it. But yeah, I would not be terribly surprised. I would not be surprised at all if that doesn't come up during the upcoming Hellfire Gala, because they don't really address because Eva Ewing puts that out there in that 4th issue, but she never talks about it again in the 5th issue. Like, it never really comes up again. Okay. It focuses more on her just getting her getting her mental health in order, and just actually allowing herself to be happy. But yeah, it's one of those deals where yeah, I could easily, the Marvel universe is changing. Let's just put it like that. Marvel universe is changing. It's changing a lot. But that is to say, oh, and here. I forgot. This is actually the most important part. This is actually the cherry on top, Carter. Right here, where the Beyonder is actually saying something to her. She said, I hid what I was for so long that I finally felt like it went away until that day. And then the Beyonder's like, what I was, you don't even want to say the word. Oh, I love it here. So yeah, Spectrum is a mutant. So there you go. We got so man, now that's 2 mutants. Technically 3 mutants in the MCU right now. We done got Ursa Major, we got Kamala Khan, now we got Spectrum, and 2 mutants gonna be in the Marvel's movie. See, See? Kevin Feige out here, y'all.
This I mean, for a while now, and everybody laughed at me. So this is nothing new for me.
No, Carter. I mean, this is I'm just saying, you predicted it, Carter. Yeah. Kevin Feige said, "Hey, what's your story?" Spectrum, what's your story? Kamala Khan, what's your story? He wasn't talking to Cyclops. But no, that was I don't know. Y'all will just have to stay tuned for all the rest of it. But that said, let's get into. I know we got some super chats going back here a little bit that I haven't taken a look at yet. But man, we got another Legion's out here today, man, with the 1999 super chat. Says Blerd hit it with that jingle song. And are you and Carter excited for Wolverine PS5? I did wish PlayStation showed off anything of Wolverine a few weeks ago. Also, love your streams and videos, bro. Keep it going. Hey, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for that.
I'm gonna keep it a whole $1. 1.00.
Ooh.
And this is about to get me in trouble. Ernie about to give me some grief. And several people in the chat about to give me some grief for what I'm about to say.
What you done? What you done, Carter?
It's not what I done done. It's about what I'm about to say.
Ooh.
Just off of Legion's 1999 super chat. I appreciate you, bro. I don't give a fuck about Spider-Man 2.
Ooh.
I'm waiting on Wolverine to come out.
Ooh. Ooh. He said it. He said it, y'all.
Don't care in the slightest. Not at all. I'm waiting on Wolverine.
You see, Blerd without fear is able to walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. I care about both. But for completely different reasons. It's completely different reasons. But yes, I do wish they would have shown a little bit more, or they would have shown something. But honestly, I feel like they probably don't have anything to show that would be of any, that would, you know what, and I don't want to compare it to the GTA 6 leak, but I feel like it would be kind of close to that anything they could show us would be stuff where people are like, oh man, this looks ugly. Because it'd be like wireframes and like all like foundation level shit.
Banky, I wasn't playing. The next motherfucker that references hot claws, you get timed out. I wasn't playing.
Man, what they put hot claws in the game? They gonna put it in the game now. I just said it. They gonna put it in the game now. Just watch. Ooh, them hot butter knives sliding through, folks. It's gonna be off the chain. We got Gearless Mo with the 1999 super chat. Says, who's running the Hellfire Trading Company these days in the shadow market? Isn't Miss Frost getting kickbacks for funding them? Tony's on the come up. Well, okay, so the funny thing about the Hellfire Trading Company is that Lords Chantel is running the Hellfire Trading Company these days. For those who may or may not remember the character of Lords Chantel, she recently made her return during the Jerry Duggan's Marauders. This is Lords Chantel over here. She is the one who was handpicked by Emma Frost to lead the Hellfire Trading Company, and she is working with the Stepford Cuckoos as well. That's who's running the show. But yes, Emma's got the bag right now. So right now, Emma is the breadwinner in that relationship between her and Tony. She is the breadwinner. 100%. 100%. Chi-Town Dan, the Nice Skin King, with the $10 says the question shouldn't be what about Scott? The question is, how is Captain America going to get along with his new daddy? Ooh, I forgot about that. Ooh.
Wait, what?
Oh, I forgot.
Wait, what?
I forgot, Carter. You ain't reading Captain America. You ain't reading Captain America Sentinel of Liberty. Ooh.
No. Wait. Somebody better tell me something, goddammit. What?
Oh, so in Captain America Civil War, let me see if I can go back and find the issue. Go back and find the issue right quick. Emma Frost, and actually, oddly enough, we were just talking about Lord Chantel. Both Emma Frost and Lord Chantel showed up in a recent issue. It was issue number 8 of Captain America: Sentinel of Liberty.
Okay.
And I don't know if you remember this gag from the Hellfire Gala, Carter, with Captain America and Emma, about how when she was trying to read his mind, and she basically says, I think she said something to the tune of like, she realized when she was kind of skimming him that the reason why he kept looking at her the way that he did was because she reminded him of his mother. Like that.
Okay. I respect this super chat a lot more now. Okay.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay, I got you now. I got you now. A little deep cut. I got you.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. It was definitely something. But yeah, Emma basically came in and helped. Was helping Steve with some psychic ish.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, also, Carter, I don't think you ever saw this shit here. This is where they paid it off.
Wow.
Yeah, this is where they paid it off. Yeah, basically, yes. Emma. Let's go.
Lord have mercy.
But yeah. Oh god. Yeah, basically that's what he did. He when he was trying to get her attention, he just thought mommy and she showed up. That like cause okay, so Carter, I want you to see something here. So right after he said mommy, that's when this is the next thing that shows up after. This is the thing that shows up after. That man said mommy and she showed up.
Emma Frost, a motherfucker, boy.
She's like, what's good? She's like, what's really good? What's really good?
That don't make no sense, bro.
Oh, God.
Goodness.
Lord Jesus Christ. Why?
Oh, my
Loved
goodness.
it. Oh, my God. Yeah. Also, you know what it also does? It puts in the greater context. I don't know if y'all remember this shot. Let me see if I can show you this. This was Steve looking at Emma at the last Hellfire Gala while she was giving her speech. They cut to that motherfucker twice. When
Man
he
was
stared
looking
at
at her like she was a snack, not even realizing that's the one that makes his snacks before he goes on his adventures.
Man, what you said. I hollered when I saw that shit. I hollered when I saw it. The Lord have mercy. But yeah, that is Lord, let's move it on along, sir. Let's move it on along. I do have, you know what? What are we at on time here? You know what? I had one last thing I kind of wanted to talk about, but we're not gonna do it. We're gonna just skip on along. Let's skip on along to our next thing. Carter, what's your recommended for this week?
Man, I had a 3-way dance for what I wanted to recommend this week, dog, and I could not decide because there were 3 books where I was just like, yeah, this is about to be good in all 3 cases. But since you have done a video for Incredible Hulk already, that knocks one down. So
okay, shit, that'd be
all right, that leaves me with 2. So hold on.
All right, what you got? Uh-oh, this man two-facing it.
Saga number 65 is going to be my recommended this week. The ending to this book, it gonna mess you up, Ernie.
Oh, it did mess me up because
you read it?
Yeah, I read it. This was gonna be my recommended. Was Saga 65. That's why I pulled it up so quick. I was like, because I was about to be like, hey, you want me to do mine real quick? Because I was gonna pull up Saga. I love how we were literally just talking about Lion Cat last week. And Lion Cat is on the cover of this book. But yeah, now this book a motherfucker. Yeah, this book fucked my whole head up. And apparently there's something worse coming.
Oh man. I'm not even going into spoilers. If you have not started reading Saga, this is a really, really good time to read it because you don't have to worry about the delays that have gotten on Ernie and myself's fucking nerves. So you can just read a solid 65 of some really nice storytelling.
66 by the time by the time you get to 65, 66 will be out.
Or it'll be out in like the next year and a half. So
well, I think they kind of implied that there is going to be another hiatus after 66. Because 66 is when I was reading the so I normally don't read the letters section, but I do with Saga because a lot of times it's when they tell you what's going on. Yeah. They imply that while this was a big reveal, 66 is the end of whatever the story arc or like the current story arc that's going on right now. So yeah, the way he talked about it, it made it seem like there might be a hiatus after the next issue. No, maybe. I'm not saying it is, but it might. But yeah.
Hideo wants to know my other pick would have been the X-Force 41, but no. Yeah. Saga is absolutely taking precedent because this issue 65 was a gut punch. That hurt.
Yeah. That hurt. No. That was a motherfucker. That was a motherfucker right there. Yeah, no, I love this issue. It's a heartbreaker, but I loved it.
It made me go back and read like them first two trades.
Bruh, look, let me tell y'all something. I got the first three hardcovers up here. I'm itching to get my hands on the fourth now. Because that, here's the thing about Saga, and I know we've talked about this before about the delays and stuff. I feel like if not for the delays, I feel like none of the slowness would have been felt because as I went back and reread a lot of like some of the earlier stuff, one of the first things I remembered was I was like, yeah, that's kind of how the book always was. It was always kind of telling stories, and kind of just moving along through like a slow burn plot because he pretty much has implied that he plans on this going as long as humanly possible because hence the name Saga.
Would it be mean to say this is like the ultimate just because of the delays?
What do you mean?
Or the hiatuses, let me say. Yeah. Do you think it would be very mean to say that this is like the ultimate trade weight book? Not even negatively, but unfortunately.
I mean, you know what? As long as they don't go on hiatuses like for a whole presidency, like they did the first time. Because the first time, that was a long hiatus. We literally had a whole new president. We literally had a president come and go in the time it took for them to get back on Saga. The last couple of hiatuses haven't been particularly long. It's just annoying because something will happen. It's like, oh shit, well, now I gotta wait a while to figure out what's gonna happen next, whatever. But I will definitely say, yeah, if you know what, I'll put it like this. If you are somebody who has not picked up Saga solely because you don't know what it is, or you're not sure if you will like it, but like you want to give it a chance, but like this is honestly the best time to get on it because that's a lot of comic to read. Like I'm telling you right now, I got 3 hardcovers of this book, and every one of them is good. Let me tell you when I say I have not read a bad issue of Saga. I have read some issues that were better than others, but yeah, every issue of Saga has something to say. And this one had a lot to say. And it's sad because we actually get something really cool for the main characters in this issue, and something horrible for, some of our other, I guess, because they're technically not like protagonists. They're theoretically antagonists just by virtue of who they are. But it's just like, man, yeah, this one was tough. This one was tough. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to say nothing else about it because I don't want to spoil it. Well, so shit, since we were simpatico on the recommendations, this one might actually go by pretty quick. I'm gonna read a super chat here real quick because I don't want to lose it. Before we jump into our what's his faces here, let's wait, why is it not? Oh my God, it's being lame. Okay, here, I'm gonna do it manually. There we go. But yeah, let's do this real quick. Let's move that out of the way for a moment. We got one here from LJ Brown with the £5. Says, Tony Stark was listening to Internal Players by Outkast and UGK. In that photo, PS, my Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. statement was in regards to life model decoys. Oh. Yeah, I feel like we don't use life model decoys enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be a thing. Actually, you know what? I'm calling now. Inflammatory hot take. We're gonna see life model decoys pop up in this in Secret Invasion more often than not. Let's see here. I'm going back and I'm looking just to make sure. Okay, we're caught up on super chats. Let's get into our Discord questions. We're gonna read 5 questions from the Discord. Let's see here. What do we got? What we got in here? What's popping? Okay, so we got one here. This is actually trying to see if this is actually a question and not just a statement. Let's see.
That's a statement.
That is a statement. Yeah, that is 100% a statement. So we will just mark that. Okay, so here's the deal. I can answer this real quick. Okay, so this question is from Urban Prince Strong Style says, "What up, good brothers? Question: why is Miguel O'Hara a vampire now?" Okay, so here's the thing. In Across the Spider-Verse, he's colloquially referred to as a vampire. Miguel O'Hara is not actually a vampire. I think they just said that jokingly. And the reason I say that is because I think the thing a lot of people forget about Spider-Man 2099 is that the character of Miguel O'Hara, he has fangs. Now, he doesn't use these fangs to drink blood. He uses these fangs to paralyze people. Like, case in point, if you go back to Across the Spider-Verse, when he was about to bite Renaissance Vulture, he was not trying to bite him to drink his blood. He was going to bite him and paralyze him so that he could take him back to Spider Society, or whatever the hell they called it in the movie. I believe it was actually Spider Society. And that moment was a nod towards that. So yeah, if you go back and I highly advise, if you go back and look at it, yeah, Miguel O'Hara isn't a vampire so much as he can bite people. That is his whole thing. His fangs have a paralytic agent in it, and if he bites you, you will be knocked smooth the F out. We got one here from Levester, says, "What were Maverick's mutant powers?" Okay, so Maverick has been coming up a lot in the recent crop of Wolverine books.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about Maverick that I think a lot of people aren't talking about is the fact that he is no longer a mutant. I mean, he is a mutant, but he's a depowered mutant. If that makes any sense to anybody. So the trick with Maverick, and if I remember correctly, his powers were something kind of weird. I remember at one point in time, I feel like at one point in time he had some weird thing with like luck, but I think his whole thing was like kind of similar to Bishop. Like
kinetic. He could absorb the energy.
Yeah, he could absorb energy. Kind of like Bishop and Sebastian Shaw, how they can absorb kinetic energy and use it to like empower themselves. That was, yeah.
They got rid of one of his powers because couldn't he see into the future a little bit?
There was something along those lines, or okay. So here's the other issue here is that if I remember correctly, I think Maverick's powers have kind of been all over the place because I remember at one point thinking he had some kind of luck-based shit at one point.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I know the one that I actively remember him having prior to House of M was being able to absorb kinetic energy.
Okay.
But he can't do that shit no more. So, but I have a sneaking suspicion he's gonna probably get killed before this whole Weapons of X thing is done. And he's gonna wind up getting resurrected and getting his powers back, most likely. But he's largely been living pretty smooth without him. Like, I think of all the depowered mutants there ever have been, he's probably one of the few that's like, yeah, I don't give a shit. He's like, ain't no skin off my back. Because he has not gone out of his way to get him back. We got one here from Elite X1. Says, my question is meant to start a fight here. Oh, Lord.
So the question, it's a picture when you pull it up. It's a red pill or a blue pill.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Someone tagged, I think I was tagged with this on Twitter as well. I mean, honestly, it is
for everyone that doesn't know, and for the audio files listening, the question is red pill, blue pill. You take the blue pill. Oh, I'm doing this for more so for the people that can't see. Yeah. The blue pill is you would gain all of the X-Men's abilities. The red pill would be you gaining all of the Justice League abilities. For everybody in the Justice League, you get all their powers. For everybody in the X-Men, you get all their powers. Which pill would you take?
Without question, X-Men. More varied power sets.
Yeah.
More varied power sets.
You are at the risk of becoming Legion and losing your shit if you have all the X-Men abilities, since he got some of it.
I mean, that's fair. I'll take it. But you know what? If I had those powers, I mean, yeah, I'd be fine with that. I mean, because here's the thing. You know why I would take that power set? Because I wouldn't have a bunch of regular men abilities as well.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's some regular men in the Justice League now.
But it's almost a troll, because if you take all the Justice League abilities, you take Batman's abilities, which ain't nothing because he's human. So you just back to being a goddamn human again. You got bamboozled taking that goddamn pill.
And when you think about it, a lot of people in the Justice League have a lot of the same powers that the X-Men have. So it's just kind of like, you don't really like, yeah, I feel like they're just, you get some wasted slots. You get some wasted slots on the Justice League, in my opinion. Archery's great and all, but you know, I'm good. Yeah. I'm actually already a quite gifted archer, so naturally and self-taught. No, well, no, it's a joke because like we were teaching my daughter how to shoot a bow and arrow, and my wife had no idea I ever knew how to shoot one. It was a practice bow, but still, when I picked it up, and mind you, I had never shot a bow in my life. I actually was pretty damn good at it. But like that's why my wife always jokes with me about how I'm just automatically good at most things that I tried. Like we always joke around the house that I'm Mr. Terrific. I have a natural aptitude for having natural aptitudes. But yeah, Carter, what would you pick? Would you pick a red or a blue pill?
Oh, I'd have to go with the X-Men just because you'd have so many different abilities. Plus, I like Legion, so
Yeah, I was like, I'm not messed up about having a bunch of personalities. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, the Justice League ability, this is set up because there's a lot of humans on there just chilling. Like,
Oh
we
yeah.
ain't even got to go to Batman. We can just go, okay, you now have the abilities of Oliver Queen. Oh, so I'm earning now without the money. Fuck out of here.
Well, the messed up part is about that is I would also be allergic to green rocks, and I don't want that.
Yeah,
I don't want that. Let's see, that's 3 and 4, or is that 3?
No, this is number 4 from.
This is 4 here. Gotcha.
Batman 1701. Love the content and the conversations. Blerd, we know you don't like the superhero versus trope. You mentioned they normally end with the superheroes talking things out and coming to an understanding. I was wondering if the final battle came to a debate, who would you have on your debate team for the heroes and for the villains? Any publisher or property?
Oh man, honestly, and yeah, this is probably gonna sound pretty obvious for me. For me, I would always have Daredevil. Great talker. Great communicator. Mm-hmm. Even if sometimes he does get a little out of pocket. But no, I would definitely have Daredevil on my side of things. And then from from the other side of it, you know who else I'd probably put? This probably will make no sense, like dynamic wise. Well, he said villain, so no, I wouldn't use that character.
Well, he said hero. He said, who would you have on a debate team for the heroes and for the villains?
And for okay, so if we're talking villains, okay, that actually changed my answer. Because I'm not gonna lie, the other side, I would have just said Midnighter. But no, if we're talking like straight up villains, oh man. And some characters I can't use because they're technically not villains anymore. Ooh. Lex Luthor. That's who I would pick. Yeah. Cool, calm, calculated. That's who I'd pick. What about you, Carter? Who you got?
I'm not answering that. That's a lot to answer in that question. I'm gonna leave that for you, sir. That shit said blurred when the question off. He wasn't answering for me.
That's fair. I guess our last one, because that was 4, right? So we got Kidoma says, greetings to you, Blur Without Fear. Hope all is well in both you and Carter's universe. My question for today is, will Nightcrawler ever become as powerful as his father, Azazel? Maybe. But I feel like there's a lot of caveats that go along with that. So Carter, how familiar are you with Nightcrawler's father?
I know that he was in First Class and he helped Kevin Bacon destroy Darwin, and people are going to eat you alive in the comments for not saying Azazel. That's as far as I know.
They can say Azazel, but it's technically Azazel. I mean, people can say it however they want, but Azazel is actually the actual pronunciation.
And Denzel Washington almost killed him in this movie called Fallen.
But he failed.
Yes, he did.
And he got killed himself.
Yes, he did.
Actually, that's one of my favorite movies of all time, too. That's top 5 Dead or Alive right there. Yep.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Fallen is one of my favorite movies. I love that movie a lot. Even though they say Azazel wrong. And you know why I'm going to... And also, case point. You know I also say Azazel? Because that's how Neil Gaiman says it. And if anyone would know, he would. Guy's a historian on mythology and demonology. So, there you go. Y'all can... chew on that. Anyway,
I'm still tripping on you about the movie because I didn't feel like a lot of people knew about that goddamn movie.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know if a lot of people knew about it, but I mean, I did. I think most people know about it now because of the gifs. Like with the whole thing where Denzel does the whole Yeah. Most people don't even realize that that's from Fallen, but it's one of my favorite movies, of all time. Denzel Washington, Elias Cote, John Goodman, Donald Sutherland. Dude, that movie is goated off rip. But no, I love the movie just because it was such a breath of fresh air in a time where there were a lot of demonology movies that were coming out, because you had like Stigmata and a bunch of other films kind of similar, same vein, come out around roughly the same time. But that said, I don't know if Nightcrawler would ever have it. I don't know if he would ever have it in himself to become what his father is, to have that level of power. I feel like eventually over time, maybe Nightcrawler will like awaken to his power. Like I have a feeling like we get to the Uncanny Spider-Man. Maybe we might see Nightcrawler flex his muscles a little bit. He's been doing it a little more here and there as of late, but yeah, it's it'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting. I'm here for it. Let's move on.
Questions from the chat.
Let's do it. Let's see here. This is funny. This doesn't count, but this is a super chat. I just thought it was funny. It said Leech said, "You don't want my power, Blerd. It's tough out here." Tough out here in these streets. Hey, man, you ain't lied. Oh, Gokon sure his baby's father with a $5 says, how do you feel about Wanda joining the Quiet Council for the Magic? Plus, they need another person joining with no ill intention or ill attention. I mean, you know what? Honestly, Wanda's kind of busy right now. Wanda is kind of busy. Wanda's got a whole clone of Magneto out here looking for her. Because did you see that, Carter? You haven't been reading Scarlet Witch, have you?
I saw it.
Okay, yeah, you saw Joseph, and brought back Joseph. Lord, because I saw so many people on Twitter like, man, Magneto, he's back, they resurrected him. I was like, that ain't Magneto. I was like, that Joseph. That Joseph like a motherfucker. Don't lie to yourself.
That was something I didn't think I would ever think they would ever go back to.
Yeah, after he got his head unceremoniously cut off by Quanon. Mm-hmm. Shit, that was literally right before House of X. Mm-hmm. I was like, damn, Quanon done out here and did just cut his head smooth off.
Yeah, I remember reading that issue. It was in a little comic bin at Barnes & Noble one day. I was just, what the fuck is going on here?
Bruh. I actually, when that issue came out of Scarlet Witch, mind you, I went back and like reread some of the issues that actually did focus on Joseph, like when he actually had, because there was a Magneto series, I believe, like, but it wasn't Eric that was the focus. It was... Really? Joseph, yeah. And it was actually, I was like, dude, I forgot how out here Joseph used to be when he lost his whole damn mind. Because I just remember like back, like I was like, oh, they just trying to youngify Magneto because, you know, they want to, because I remember when Joseph became a thing, it was roughly not too far ahead of when the X-Men movies were coming out. Like, it's like, man, dude.
Gotcha.
I was like, man, Ian McKellen out here looking good and grown. But they got Joseph over here looking like he fresh out of high school. That man is in college. But yeah. Let's see here. That's all. I just saw somebody was a response to one of the others he was talking about. Said someone said you can't argue against the Purple Man. You really can't. You actually can't. Actually, here you go. Purple Man, and then the purple. Or actually, her name is Persuasion now. Yeah, Persuasion and Purple Man. There you go. That's your debate team right there. We got one here from YTube Noob. This is actually first official actual like question that counts towards our 5 count. YTube Noob says, did Ultimate Invasion reference anything from Donny Cates' Venom, like Venom Beyond arc run? Last time the Maker made it back to his universe, it was overrun with symbiotes. Okay, so that was something I was kind of hinting at when I was talking about Ultimate Invasion, was that what happened between then and there, because the last time we actually physically saw the Maker, he was sent to the Ultimate Marvel Comics universe, and that was, in fact, it was over, that world was overrun. But the thing that I find interesting is that how did he get back? Because it is heavily implied that Reed was the one who imprisoned him. So, but we never see anything like literally. I actually went and looked this up because I don't know if y'all know this. You can actually go online and look up the issues like that a character appears in. And these things are actually heavily curated and very accurately curated for the most part. But it's actually how I figure out what issues I need to read when I'm doing my character breakdowns, to like know what issues I should look for to get a good idea of, you know, a character's, you know, story. If I see like a random one-off issue, I'm like, okay, that's probably nothing. If I see several issues together, I'm like, okay, cool, this is probably something. But what I thought was very funny about it was, yeah, every issue that we have seen the Maker in since that, and it was only 2 issues. It was a Free Comic Book Day issue and the issue of the Wasp. Both cases were flashbacks. They weren't like present day. So the question I have for Jonathan Hickman is, how did the Maker get back to Earth 616? I mean, it's not to say that he couldn't have. He has the capability to do so, but if I remember correctly, his Venom symbiote was heavily damaged when he got sent to that universe. Maybe he could have fixed it. I can logic that into my head. But yeah, I need answers. I need Jonathan Hickman to answer that question at some point.
Maybe this was just a case of, oh, I didn't read that, so I didn't know that. I don't really care either way. I'm trying to tell my story.
It probably was. You're probably right. You're probably more correct than you realize. It's kind of like what I said about you know, when we talk about, you know, when we talked about Punisher, remember? What if the next writer's cup says, I'm ignoring the shit. Weird World? Yeah, he ain't there. That motherfucker is in New York. You feel me? He is New York undercover. You feel me on this one? Let's see here. We got another one here from this is actually from Paris Yule. I'm hoping I'm saying this right. Paris Yule. This is actually this is a super chat we got here. So for $20, this is especially with the news of the upcoming NBA collab. Just watched My Hero Academia with my 2 sons who've been begging me, had me walking around slapping people like Arsenio Hall from Chappelle's show. I'm hooked.
Why didn't you tell me the cheese was this damn good?
Right? He's like, damn, this cheese good in a motherfucker.
But that is a very strange collaboration that's going to happen with My Hero and the NBA. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know how it's going to work. But this is not the first time I have been told to watch My Hero. That'll be something I just start from episode 1 in the Discord, and we are just shooting shit.
Yeah.
Unless one of y'all get too annoying, and I will mute y'all.
Oh Lord. So here's the deal. So what it is it's gonna be an apparel collaboration.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, it's an apparel collaboration. I don't know if it goes anything beyond that, but basically what it sounds like to me, and I could be wrong, but just like off rip, the thing I'm thinking of is they'll probably just be wearing like their little jumpers, that they have. It might be something along those lines. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to have any inside info or inside baseball on this one. But yeah, My Hero Academia is a fantastic show. I kind of fell off of it just because I've largely fallen off anime as a whole as of late. Like I'm very selective about what anime I watch nowadays, and I actually prefer watching things that are shorter as opposed to longer. It's kind of like why when our mutual buddy Jose, when the One Piece live action trailer came out, and some folks asked me if I would finally give it a chance, and it's like, it's not that I haven't given it a chance before. I've tried on several separate occasions to watch One Piece. I do not like any of the characters in that show, and I also don't like the fan servicey-ness of it. And the way women are depicted, I don't like it. Doesn't do anything for me. But that said, I might watch the live action one, but I'm gonna tell you right now, if any of the characters act anything like the characters from the anime, I will probably cut that shit off so fast that it will make my whole Fire Stick shut down and freeze up. Because at the end of the day, it looks like they're steering pretty close to that. And my general opinion is anime doesn't translate to live action very well. Not in a way, not when you do it 1-to-1. That's why Cowboy Bebop failed in a lot of regards, because a lot of the attitudes and shit from the anime.
Though, right?
I liked it, but I mean, what I'm saying, the reason why I think people I watch a lot of Tokusatsu. I watch a lot of Kamen Rider, Super Sentai. I'm used to seeing that style of acting, because that's not really so much an anime thing. It's just a Japanese thing in general, because if you watch a lot of TV shows from Japan, even in live action, characters act the way that you see in anime, where like they'll like freeze frame and go and then like teardrop, and then like and then someone raises up a flag for whatever reason and then passes out, or someone like does like the little or like they go all chibi face or whatever. That's a normal thing in Japan. That's in all of their live action comedic stuff for the most part. It's a comedy trope of Japan. It doesn't work in live action when stuff is Americanized, because no one knows how to do it right. And even in Japan, it doesn't look that great in live action. I think it's kind of silly, honestly. And it's usually the parts of Super Sentai and Kamen Rider where I start kind of tuning out. Like, when they start doing that shit, I'm just kind of like, well, let me see what's going on Twitter real quick. But all that aside, like, I remember, Kate, did you watch the episode where Ed showed up?
Yeah.
Or did you ever see the clip where Ed showed up?
No, I saw it. Yeah.
Okay. So like when people were like freaking out about how like, oh, this is so stupid and so over the top, it's so silly. I was like, what did y'all expect? That's how Ed acts on the show. What did you think they were going to do?
But the whole reason I said
Ed outside of a cartoon perspective is kind of stupid.
The whole reason I brought up the fact that you liked Cowboy Bebop when a lot of people did not.
Yeah.
You don't like anime One Piece. Who's to say live action might turn you around?
Maybe. Or it might make me turn that
Double
motherfucker
down.
right the fuck out. That might make me double down on that motherfucker. I don't know. We got one here from Markellen Sigler says, question, is it my imagination or does Philip Kennedy Johnson's Hulk #1 seem very much like a spiritual successor to Al Ewing's run on Immortal Hulk? By the way, what are your top 3 runs on Hulk?
Before you answer that part,
go ahead.
Tell them exactly what you told me when it came to Philip Kennedy Johnson being a spiritual successor to him. Say it how you said it to me.
I'm trying to remember exactly how I said it. But basically, when I hit up Carter about it, I was basically just like, yeah, he said, fuck all that cake shit. He said, nah, I ain't doing that. He's like, because I say this honestly. They talk more about the Green Door and concepts from Immortal Hulk than Donny Cates ever did with his run of Hulk. But that said, Al Ewing, easy, top 5 dead or alive in the Hulk category. When it comes to other Hulks, other Hulk books, I guess I'd be hard pressed to not put Peter David up there. Peter David's Hulk is, his Hulk is revolutionary in a lot of respects. So I can't not put Peter David in there, for any of his run, because I think he was on Hulk for like a good long while. I'm trying to think of anybody else, any other run of Hulk that like really held my attention, because by and large, I'm not the biggest, like, this may surprise a lot of people. I'm not the biggest Hulk fan. I know a lot about the Hulk, but like, I'm not like the hugest, like, oh my God, I'm a super, like, as much as I'm an X-Men stan, I'm not as big a Hulk stan.
I can only name you 2 runs that I legitimately enjoyed of Hulk.
Yeah.
And I'll give you, just like you said, Al Ewing Immortal Hulk run that made me a fan of the Hulk, and Jeff Parker's run of Hulk when he was writing Red Hulk. Jeff Parker's Red Hulk run was really, really good to me.
You know what? I gotta admit, who was? I'm trying to remember. Man, I almost don't want to say his name because you know what? I think he's kind of problematic now.
Okay.
I don't want to say his name because I think he might be problematic now. I remember really liking Dale Keough. Or no, he was he drew. He didn't write. But like back when, I don't know, man. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. That is I do remember liking shit, what was it? Was it Greg Pak?
Mm-hmm.
I do remember liking some of Greg Pak's stuff. So yeah, there you go. Those are my runs. Those are my runs right there. So that's what, 2? Is that 2?
No,
2,
you said 3. You said 3. I said 2.
No. I mean, I've only answered. I was saying I've only answered 2.
Oh,
yeah, I've only answered 2. Here's one from Jerome. Says, outside of Photon, Captain Marvel, and Blue Marvel, you seem to have a real affinity for street level characters. Is it because they're written better, or more likable, or another reason? It's a little bit of all. Actually, street level characters to me are more human characters, and I think that's kind of like why. Now, case in point, there's a reason why I like Monica Rambeau, Carol Danvers, and to a lesser extent, Dr. Adam Brashear, because we don't really get to spend a lot of time with him. But I focus more on Monica Rambeau and Carol Danvers because we have had more time with these characters, and despite the fact that they are uber powerful individuals, they act incredibly human. Like, and I challenge people. If you have not read any of the Kelly Thompson Captain Marvel, it's a really good place to start with Captain Marvel if you've never read any Captain Marvel. And I mean more specifically Carol Danvers aspect of it, because she humanizes Carol in a way that you forget that she is basically the Superman of the Marvel Comics universe. It's easy to forget that she is incredibly powerful because she is a very human character. Monica Rambeau, I think, is a very human character. So yeah, I think it probably has more to do with the fact that they are written better to be more likable. Because like, yeah, you have characters like Spider-Man. Why do people love Spider-Man? Because he's relatable. I like Daredevil because he's relatable to me. I like, so yeah, I think that is what it is. I think it's because they are more likable. And even if they aren't likable characters, I feel like they just have more nuance to them than a character who can literally just look at something and melt it. With no character development whatsoever. If that makes any sense. Yeah. You got any thought? You got any weigh in on that, Carter?
It's a little bit of, in some cases, they are written better because it's street level and you're not having to think of as much fantastical shit when it comes to like Avengers or Cosmic Marvel and stuff like that. Because yeah, I was always a guy who I was quick to grab a Marvel Knights book before I grabbed any other thing. So yeah. I would say that they were more okay. They down here with me kind of vibe is why I like the street level people. So yeah, that's where I was with them.
Yeah. Let's see. We got another one here. This is from Marcus Hill. Says, question: if Monica started another Flashpoint, what things would you change? I would change. Monica? Yeah, she did that in her Photon book. She basically created a Flashpoint. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, the book was good, man. You need to read it. But basically, what Monica did. Here's what I would change. Dr. Voodoo would still be Sorcerer Supreme. Jericho Drum would still be Sorcerer Supreme.
That didn't last long at all, did it?
Nope. It would not. That
shit
was
like
a New York minute.
Came and went. Yeah,
Jericho, and he was actually Jericho. Dude, people sleep on Dr. Voodoo. That dude is amazing.
Loki was longer Sorcerer Supreme than Dr. Voodoo was. And he wasn't even the real one. He was lying.
Yeah, he was faking it till he made it. He was trying to fake it till he make it. So yeah, no, that's one thing I would do. Like just off the top of my head, that is definitely one thing I would change. I would also change the trajectory, and this is going to sound crazy to some people, but I would actually change the trajectory. No, actually, I'd leave it the way it was because people would be mad one way or the other. So we'd leave that as it is. Yeah, Greg Pak and Planet Hulk. Yeah, there you go. Case in point. Let's see here. I'm trying to see if I see another one in here. I don't really see any that have question in front of it, at least none that I've seen. Maybe there might be one a little further back. I'm gonna go back and look real quick just to be sure. Oh, here, easy. Frantic World says, question, do you guys think we will see some cameos in Secret Invasion? And Ernie, are you going to watch AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door tomorrow night? Yes, I am going to be watching it because I'm very interested in some of those matchups. Forbidden Door was something I actually didn't think they would do again. I'm trying to see. Let me pull up the card real quick. Carter, are you going to check it out? Are you going to check out Forbidden Door?
If I'm not, I don't plan on doing anything Sunday, so sure. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. It's they did it last year? Yeah, I think they did last year. And it was pretty cool. It was very interesting. Like, I mean, you're going to see a lot of New Japan Pro wrestlers just going up against AEW wrestlers. Okay. They're going to have Orange Cassidy versus Zack Sabre Jr. and versus Katsuyori Shibata and versus Daniel Garcia. CM Punk versus Satoshi Kojima, Tony Storm versus Willow Nightingale, Adam Cole versus Tom Lawler. Let's see here. Sonata versus Jungle Boy Jack Perry. I love how they just finally said, fuck it. If Jim Ross is going to keep calling him that, we're just going to go ahead and just make that his name. Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay. That match is going to be off the chain. Are you familiar with Will Ospreay?
I've seen some stuff from him. Yeah,
dude, that match is going to be off the hook. That's two of the hardest working men in pro wrestling, period, in the same ring. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be the former Ember Moon, Athena. She's gonna be going head to head with Billy Starks. So that'll be should be fun. There's a huge tag team match too, Blackpool Combat Club versus the Elite as well. Oh, and MJF versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. So that's gonna be a good one too. I can't wait to see that. That's gonna be good. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. As far as cameos, I definitely think we'll see some cameos. I think there are definitely some that have not been announced. I don't think there'll be anything too major though, so I'm not gonna, I don't want anybody to get their hopes up. But I definitely think we'll see some cameos. Just don't expect them to be like Robert Downey Jr. levels of like star powerness. Don't expect it, anything like that. Let's see here. Do we have anything else here? I think that's it. We got one more super chat. We're going to read that. Elite X1 said, hell, speaking of human-like, DC needs to figure out how to make Superman in the comics be more human like he is on the CW show. TV dude is doing the job.
Yeah. A lot of people love Tyler Hoechlin's Superman right now.
He's fantastic. That's honestly, I know a lot of people made fun of him when he first came on to Supergirl. So like, oh man, this is skinny Superman. It's like, no, that's human Superman.
Well, I think they more so were just trying to throw shade at him because he was coming from Teen Wolf, and now he got the big job of being Superman. But Superman alone, like,
it was people who. Oh well, yeah, no, there was that, but I think it was people who were like, because there were people always comparing him to Henry Cavill. Like, gotcha. They were like, Henry Cavill's way bigger than him. He looks more like Superman than this guy. And I was like, dude, he's a good actor. He honestly, the first episode I saw him in Supergirl, I was like, this is Superman.
Yeah.
I was like, he has it down. He has the Clark and the Kal-El down. It's kind of like when I talk about Ben Affleck with Batman. He has the Bruce and the Batman down. Like that's my Superman right there. Tyler Hoechlin is my Superman, personally. But at least we're talking like modern day Superman. Other than otherwise it's Christopher Reeve all day. But that said, yeah, because I'm looking at my watch. We are well and good and over on time. My wife is going to kill me because I made her stay at work longer. I'm joking. But that said, Carter, do you have any announcements that you want to make, sir?
I was going to live stream from a Sonic the Hedgehog pop-up, but it has already started. I think I missed it. So no.
Oh, what?
Yeah, there was a Sonic the Hedgehog hype plan, like a clothing, I should say, pop-up that was happening at noon, but I think I've already missed it.
Oh, damn.
I was going to stream from there.
Oh, damn. My bad. I'm sorry.
But other than that, somebody in the chat was asking about like a Diablo 4 stream from us. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know what's going on the rest of the day. I know I am going to go for my walk because, yeah, I need to go walking. My fat ass needs to get up and moving around. But that said, before we actually go any further, I'm just going to say thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for all your love and attention and care. And thank you so much for the super chats, the lurkers, the super chatters, all the memberships, patrons, everybody. You guys are so amazing. I love you all 3,000. I haven't said that very often. But you know what? We got to get out of here. So thank you so much. And we'll see y'all next time.